Oh my god, I don't know if I logged in yesterday.
Welcome. There's no need to knock. I saw you, Suzumiya, at the door.
She's so cute. I'm in tears. I'm in tears. Jay and Pavia got into a fist fight over something minor. The next day, they drank excessively together and became best friends. Okay, yeah. Sounds believable enough. Check my wilderness. I have to stop being a lazy bum and actually do stuff in my wilderness instead of just like putting a lot of stuff and calling it a day. What? I don't know how to do things. Oh. New and I have no idea what I'm doing. Also yesterday I was trying to get my... Oh yeah, I did log in yesterday. I was trying to get my young Yue.
I'm writing a report on the Crater Brawl at Dodger Stadium.
Like... I was trying to get her maxed out, but I can't yet because these things are really annoying to farm. Because it takes a lot of stamina. But also, yeah, what is this? I don't think I'm gonna pull in this because let's check. Let's just check. 2 of them. Well, I won't really... I'll check it later. But, before I get to the story, I'll be farming a little, just to wait.
I'm writing a report on the
for
Crater Brawl
everyone to
at
get
Dodger
here.
Stadium. The first thing we learned as...
Look at my back. A little trick. Right, wind. How did you eat this? No need to look back. Advice from the forest. Oh, shit. Don't blame. Oh, don't worry. I have prepared it all.
Oh my god, I just stretched in my chair and I just cracked my sternum.
Swallow my exhaust.
Felt really good though.
They are much naughtier than the Foundation's kids.
Okay. I think I can craft this pretty easily. Yeah. Also, I think her eye too is so pretty. Like, so pretty.
Thunder in Jingzhe echoes in my ears.
She's so cute, guys. Look at her. Baby. She's such a baby. Also, wait, I have to get her Psycube. I don't know if I have it. Wait. Her Psycube. Okay, no, I don't have it. What? 8,000? That one audio that's like, there's no way this is $5 million. Yeah, that's how I felt right now. I'm gonna do some farming later, like off screen. And yeah, I'll get her psyche. Hanjung has urgent matters to attend to and trusts you with watching over the store. It's unusually quiet with no customers around, but you hear noises from behind the shelves. Gonna go take a look. Group of predators stack themselves up, trying to steal festive decorations from the shelves. You scoop them up and decide to give them to Miss Nobabel as a festival gift. Awesome. Also, I'm trying so hard not to buy Yoni logs. I want to buy them, but I'm gonna wait until I have like a 6-star that I really want, or like a 6-star whose portrait I want. Okay. Also, what's this? Oops. Yeah. What? Oh, this. Okay. Also, this little thing looks so cute. Like, look at this little face. Okay, I think it's enough time for us to get ready for the rest of the story. And also, I'm gonna do, like, I think I'm gonna do all this stuff, like, all this stuff off screen later when I don't have anything to do. Also, sometimes I might stop when I'm talking, but that's because I have a huge pint of sparkling water. Also, I had to do mains bulletin. I don't think I did last events. Actually, since no one's here yet, I think I'm going to do like just these meanwhile. Jessica, I need her euphoria. I have to figure out how to do that. Also, oh my god, this music is a banger.
Or this one, this? It turns gray.
Now back to the salon.
She's so cute, guys. I love her. I love her.
You should not make an enemy of the earth.
Or be serious. Stay focused. Time to turn the page. Stop light. Say hello. Did I miss something? Useful?
Good timing.
To turn gray.
Alright.
Wait. Was I helpful timekeeper?
Okay. Oh, we're gonna see Noir. Hi. I like her. Don't speak, don't blink, don't fidget, and definitely don't sneeze.
You mean to say that you're a stunt woman? Seriously?
Noir chuckles and shakes her head before turning her wheelchair in disinterest.
Thank you, officer. Well, judging by your uniform, you're from the Vigils Bureau, aren't you? I appreciate the gesture. It's true that we may be able to attract more viewers if we have a vigil on the cast list. But filmmaking isn't as easy as you think. Maybe I can fit you in next time.
Rejection. But refusal is not an option in this
I'm
operation.
familiar with movies, especially yours. I'm actually a big fan. And I saw the performance just now. Not to be rude or anything, but I think I can handle the stunt. For the betterment of the movie. That's what Miss Latham said you were after. Is that right?
Her words stir up a storm.
What? Does she even know what she's talking about?
That's some pretty big talk.
Even Noir can help but let out an amused chuckle at Young's word. Even so, her wheelchair comes to a stop.
That's true. But are you certain that you'll make my movie better?
Yes.
No hesitation whatsoever. Wow. To be honest, no. Young knows that filmmaking is far more complex than it appears. Her answer is far from the truth. But if she's going to uncover the truth, she has to act the part.
Interesting. Since you insist, let's give it a try. Show me what a vigil can do.
It isn't a particularly clever trick, but fortunately, Latham's words weren't false. Noir would never turn down an opportunity to improve her films. Okay.
Let the overture begin.
Also, recently I've been seeing people like, oh wait, listen up. In the first scene, you're a martial arts apprentice in Chinatown, cornered in an alley by a group of thugs. You're an outsider here, trying to avoid trouble, so all you can do is curl up and take the beating. Are you ready, Vigil? Yes. Action! Eat this! Don't you know what hand over the money means? You wanna suffer? Go break her legs. Huh, you got it, boss. Ugh. I've been seeing people like, say Barcarola is really bad and all that. But like, girl, you just have to, cut. Good. Second scene. You've had enough. You're humiliated and furious, ready to fight back. Get it together. No more looking weak. Show me your anger. Now, you get up from the ground, not to prove yourself, but to tell them that whatever you've lost, you're taking it back. Action! Boss, she's standing up again. What are you afraid of? She's just a crippled runt. Like, actually, if you use Barcarola right, she hits like a freight train.
A little trick.
Like, you guys seen me struggle last event's boss, and she carried me. She's gonna kill someone. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Cut. Also, I like this outfit of hers. It's so pretty.
Excellent. Bravo. Exactly as you claimed. No, even better. Really spectacular work. A perfect take.
I'm flattered, director.
Noir's eyes glisten as she watches the playback of the shot. Meanwhile, after nearly 20 failed takes, Young returns to the dressing room, her costume drenched in sweat. When she emerges back in her vigil's uniform, a bottle of water is handed to her.
Here, it's not open.
Thank you.
Didn't expect you to pull it off. That was a dangerous stunt. Scared the crap out of me. All right. So you did a good job one time. But let me tell you, it takes a lot more than that to win recognition in this industry.
You've really gotta hone in on the dramatic scenes if you want to move out of the stuntwoman box. You're good looking, and you took that scene pretty seriously. You interested in doing that? If you are, then I'll suggest you be a little more humble. There's always room for improvement, you know?
You're right. I'm sorry, but I'm not even a stunt woman, let alone an actress. This is all just a bit of fun for me.
Is that so? Oh, what a shame.
She looks so smug here. I love her. The queen of the set rolls over in her chariot, stopping beside Liang.
I appreciate your sincerity, but I'd be even more appreciative if you were willing to do a few more scenes.
If it's just for a short time, I'd like to help in any way I can.
Fantastic! Follow me. We can have dinner and look at the script together. I have a few changes I want to make to the story. Trust me, the audience will be more than happy to hear a line or two from you.
Lines? Okay.
Things seem to be taking an unexpected turn.
That's all. Well, have you memorized them?
Yes, every word. But aren't there too many?
The blank spaces in the script spread out on the table. Wait, in the script spread out on the table. Oh, okay. Are filled with Noir's flamboyant pen strokes.
She's got a point, Director. The investors might not approve, though. They already told us not to change the script like we did in Hong Kong.
Relax, we've done this before. They never read the script anyway. Besides, I'm not exactly asking for a monologue here. It's only 3 lines, just what's needed to make the character complete.
Lynn gives a helpless sigh. She knows all too well how pointless it is to try and change Noir's mind.
I'll keep practicing until filming starts.
I look forward to your performance.
By the way, I saw some deity dolls and sedan chairs on the set. The Dushu Festival is coming up, right? Is the crew joining the Shohua parade?
Those are our props. Our final scene is set at the Shohua parade. I already spoke with the organizers in Chinatown. They've allowed us to shoot during it.
Really? The last CO7 movie ended with the Shohua parade too.
Noir's eyes light up. She smiles.
Good memory. Looks like you meant it when you said you were a big fan.
The restaurant owner serves their meal, pausing their script discussion for the time being. Noir and her assistant pick up their chopsticks, but Loggerhead remains still.
So, did you find anything? You said that your beastie friend could detect things tainted with evil, right? So, did it sense anything wrong with the director?
While Loggerhead speaks in a hushed tone, the conspicuousness of her head makes talking in secret a near impossible task. Feeling Noir and Lynn's subtle gazes,
Yes! I told you she'd never do that! Hey! She can hear you, you know?
the situation is already beyond repair.
I'd never do what?
Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. For a brief moment, Liang feels a splitting headache. She shoots a mildly accusatory glance at Loggerhead, causing her to visibly shrink.
Sorry, I don't like skirting around things. Can't we just ask her straight up?
Not really. If every criminal just confessed to their crimes, the vigils wouldn't exist.
No clumsy cover-up will fool the director now. There is nothing for it but to be upfront. Perhaps this is for the best anyway.
Actually, I didn't just come here to apologize. There's something I want to ask you about.
What is it?
A perfectly measured balance of curiosity and confusion, yet no real surprise. A renowned director having a knack for acting isn't exactly shocking. In fact, it's about as surprising as an amateur failing miserably to do the same thing.
It's about the strange things happening in Chinatown these days.
Wait, so all this was just to butter us up so you could investigate your case?
The assistant, who was all smiles moments ago, suddenly falls silent. Despite her careful preparation, the situation is difficult for Liang.
Sorry, madam, but it's my job. As I said, strange things have been happening in Chinatown. Things that bear a striking resemblance to the film incident that you were involved in 8 years ago, Miss Noah. The case document stated that the origin of these events is a film reel titled Reunion of the Three Swallows, a movie created by your friend, He Rijun. Miss Latham said you watched a film with her in her room a few days ago. Do you have any idea where that film reel is now?
That film reel.
Did you not know what it was?
I had no idea.
Noir's expression darkens. Clearly, she's realized why Liang has brought up that film reel.
That film we watched together. Well, to put it mildly, it had nothing of interest. It didn't seem to have any semblance of a story, even. It couldn't have been one of Teresa's.
Liang recalls that the archival reunion of the Three Swallows cited Teresa as the English name of its creator, He Rijun. Noir and He Rijun had been friends since their days studying abroad, and it seems Noir still uses that name. That rumors, investigation reports, and speculations flicker through Liang's mind. But seeing the somber look on the woman before her, she decided to set them aside for now.
Maybe the original content has been contaminated. According to the Foundation's records, the film reel has two abilities: play and record. The play ability allows it to conjure its contents into reality in a form similar to a movie image, which accounts for the hallucinations and phantoms the victims mentioned. The record ability captures the souls of those in the same effective range as play, and the victims lose a part of themselves, like their sanity or their memories. The case document doesn't mention anything about contamination, but my guess is that the souls recorded by the film have polluted the original content of the film.
Shame on them. Whoever's behind this.
Noir mutters a curse, and both she and Liang fall into silence. Meanwhile, Lin and Loggerhead look utterly lost.
Wait, what are you talking about? Can you explain it to me simply, please?
Miss Noah didn't know that that film was a reunion of the Three Swallows, so naturally, she didn't take it. I think she's telling the truth.
Really? That's great news!
No one responds. Loggerhead looks around and slowly lowers the arm she raised in premature celebration.
Oh, right. The film's still missing, so it's not great news. But at least Noir wasn't up to something when she made friends with me, right? That's definitely good news for me.
She turns to Noir.
That means we're still friends. That friends help each other. Liang said that the film reel could cause some problems for you. Let me help you find it. I'll catch that thief and take the film back to the ACD. Then you'll be safe. I'll clear my name, and the problems in Chinatown will be solved. That's 3 birds with 1 stone. Genius, right?
You know, Miss Latham, this is what I like about you. You always speak your mind.
Her eyes squint a little as she curves her mouth into an unexpectedly gentle smile.
Our relationships are so complex, aren't they? That's what makes them so intriguing, captivating, really. A constant source of inspiration. But sometimes I feel that life is better kept simple. Wouldn't you agree, Miss Vigil?
Agreed.
Ah, her sad wet puppy face. I love her. There are certainly simpler ways to say, I'm suspicious of you, and I have no intention of cooperating.
May I ask you another question?
Please.
The rumors about CO7, which ones are true?
I don't think a few old stories will help you solve the case.
It's not only for the case, but for my own curiosity. I wasn't lying when I said I was familiar with your works. Matters a lot to me as a fan.
I see.
Nora ponders for a moment.
In that case, I really don't think you should know the truth for your own good.
Oh my.
I appreciate your love for my works, but it's not a good idea to dig too deep into what went on behind the scenes. Just enjoy the stories for what they are. Otherwise, the magic will be ruined.
She gives a slight shake of her head, but a flicker of contemplation passes through her downcast eyes.
Well, I can tell you one thing that might interest you, though.
Eek, cliffhanger. Okay, mouse trap. When the nose catches the scent of the cheese, that's when the tail gives it away. Cheese to meet you. Bearer of the curse. This, oh my god, Dark Souls 2. Night has deepened, and the little restaurant on the corner outside of Chinatown is almost empty. The doorbell chimes, and 2 people walk in.
Scott and Saul Officer, over here.
Again, it's Poitier. Have you seriously already forgotten my name? It's only been 3 hours.
At Loggerhead's call, the 2 newcomers take a seat at her and Liang's table.
What's your status?
Couldn't find anything useful. Sorry. I already asked the investigators who came with me to track down the other missing items. You know, to cover up for Loggerhead, but so far they haven't found anything. As for the person who stole the item, I haven't a clue.
Why do I feel like, I don't know, like she looks too sad white puppy. Why do I think she's like double-crossing us? I'm a little suspicious. She's a little too cute for my liking.
Well, at least there haven't been any reports of arcane explosions or earthquakes. No news is good news, right?
What about you? Any leads?
Miss Noah didn't take the film, but she refused to tell us anything about its curse or the former owner, He Rijun.
She lets out a deliberately dejected sigh, withholding the final message Noir gave her.
Looks like I'm the only one who has good news.
You do? What about?
Portier tilts her head, gesturing past Scott to the darkened street outside the window.
The illegal trade of arcane items. You told me to keep an eye on it. I contacted my guy who tracks all that stuff. Told me about this trader called Pug Dog, a middleman in the black market. He was pulled over for speeding this morning, but he actually paid the ticket right away. Can you believe that? I wouldn't be surprised if he shot the police car and ran away there.
An outlaw suddenly behaving himself. He must be up to something important. Something big enough to make him avoid getting into trouble over a speeding ticket.
The officers thought the same, so they tracked him to this stolen car, right? Well, guess where it's headed? Here. Chinatown.
A man with a deep, jagged scar across his brow saunters under the moonlight. At last he stops, slipping into a darkened alleyway. He has no idea that 4 silent pursuers are lurking nearby, hidden under a rookie vigil's silent shadow arcane skill.
What's he doing?
Waiting for someone's my guess.
A middleman for the arcane black market. So he probably has the cursed film. And now he's planning to sell it to someone. We should get him now, before the film's sold off. Come on, this is our chance.
Liang clamps a hand over her mouth, just in time, muffling her outburst.
Shh! Someone's coming.
From the depths of the shadows, a figure emerges. Not walking toward Pug Dog, but riding something. Perhaps a wheelchair.
Good evening, sir. I hope I didn't keep you too long.
You got the dough?
Of course.
Noir pulls a rectangular object from her coat.
It's an envelope. Looks pretty thick.
Portier is right. Pug Dog takes the envelope and pulls a handful of bills from it before nodding in satisfaction.
All here. Don't you worry, all right? You can trust me. Everyone in LA knows Pug Dog.
He stuffs the bulging envelope into his pocket before pulling an item from his jacket.
Here's your stuff.
The item cuts an arc through the darkness, landing precisely in Noir's waiting hands.
Ha! I like customers like you. Generous and to the point. All right, I'm out of here. Pleasure doing business with you. And hey, feel free to call me again.
He scans the area before turning back to Noir, lowering his voice.
Seeing as you're a good customer of mine, here's a bit of advice. Watch your back on the way out of here.
What do you mean?
But Noir doesn't get the chance to press further. The moment has come. Liang strides out of the shadows.
Sorry to interrupt, but neither one of you will be making your own way home. Miss Noah, Pug Dog. I'm afraid you'll be coming to the Arcane Affairs office with me.
Cop!
Okay.
Let the overture begin. You have any requests?
A little trick.
My next performance is bubbles bursting.
They are much naughtier than the Foundation's kids.
Ow! Easy! Easy!
Shut up and stay down!
Pug Dog's attempts to fight back have been utterly useless.
Miss Noah, Could you show me what he gave you?
Go ahead.
She hands a dusty gray box to Liang. Inside is an ordinary-looking fume reel, but Liang can feel the vessel containing Chang Liang growing warm against her skin.
Super 8mm. This must be it. Reunion of the Three Swallows. He Zhijun's final work. The culprit behind the strange happenings in Chinatown.
Yet for now, it lies quietly in her grasp, docile and unthreatening.
Well, that was easier than expected. Half a day and we've already tracked it down. Now all we gotta do is stop it from doing its arcanum-y thing. But how? Smash it?
Before Liang can respond, Nora voices a polite opposition.
I don't think that's a good idea.
I have to admit, Miss Noah's right. Arcane items need to be handled with the utmost care. No one knows what will happen once it's broken. It could make things worse.
Fine. Let's take these two back to the office first. On your feet, tough guy. We gotta go.
Ugh. Damn it! How'd you find me? Some asshole sell me out?
Pugdog is yanked up from the ground. He reluctantly follows Poitier, grumbling and cursing under his breath. But as he passes Liang, he stops.
Wait. You?
He stares. Not at her, precisely, but at the figure cowering behind her.
It was you! You fuck traitor! I should have known you were working with the cops!
Loggerhead tilts her head in confusion.
Huh? What are you talking about? Wait, let me explain. This is just a misunderstanding.
Don't worry, Miss Scott. You're right. There has been a misunderstanding between you and him. Allow me to explain.
Scott heaves a sigh of relief, only for Liang's next words to hit her like a thunderclap.
You never had the intention of betraying him, nor were you working with us.
Oh my! Did I receive the gift of prophecy?
You simply gave him the item you wanted to sell. That's it.
This motherfucker. I knew it. I knew she was double-crossing us. Girl. Project gone awry. Plans account for everything, except the unexpected, which never fails to arrive.
What? What do you mean?
Loggerhead turns to her friend, then to Pugdog, then back to Liang. She remains totally expressionless.
The truth was always there, hidden beneath the lies and distractions. All you have to do is whittle them down, one by one. The probable cause of the events in Chinatown is the reunion of the Three Swallows film reel, and apparently, Miss Noah has a history with it.
And yet, the specifics of this history remain unclear. Liang glances at Noir, only to be met with her signature unreadable smile.
But Miss Noah doesn't have anything to do with the Foundation. There's no way she could sneak into the ACD and steal the film. The same goes for this gentleman or any other outsider. So, the thief who wants Miss Latham to take the fall must work for the Foundation.
Oh my.
In fact, since they stole the item without being noticed, they probably work for the ACD. And they must be close to Miss Latham to know enough about her amnesia to be able to take advantage of it.
But loads of people at the ACD know about my condition. You can't pin it on Scott just from that.
For the first time, the ever-cheerful Loggerhead takes on a harsh, indignant tone. She stamps her foot and turns to her friend.
That's way too harsh, right, Scott? Right? Scott? Say something, will you?
Is this a crash out coming? Scott only stares at the floor as she tries to calm her quivering breath.
How long have you known?
Scott has finally managed to force out a few words.
Since Miss Latham said you were good friends. With all due respect, your plan was far from perfect.
Ugh, I knew it. You brought me along so this guy would call me out.
After a long sigh, Scott lifts her head, speaking with a redesigned kind of ease.
You're right. I messed up. My plan was far from perfect because, well, I couldn't stick to the so-called plan since the very beginning. I didn't know the Foundation was already investigating the theft until after I'd hidden the items in Loggerhead's room. Then I had no choice but to use this idiot as the scapegoat. I never thought she'd accidentally bring the film to LA, or that I'd be ordered to investigate the case. I got in touch with this guy a long time ago, and the trade site happened to be in LA too. So, my plan was to get the film back and sell it right afterwards. But things didn't go as smoothly as I thought. I shouldn't have gotten greedy, or been so nice to this dummy.
She shoots a piercing glare at Loggerhead, before quickly looking away, whether out of disdain or avoidance is unclear.
But... we're friends, aren't we?
Her voice is as fragile as brittle glass. Scott shatters it with a scoff.
Friends? Don't be ridiculous. I don't know how you can act like nothing's wrong when literally everyone is laughing at you. And the fact that they thought that I was one of your kind.
Girl! Shut it.
Ugh, what an insult. I only hung out with you because I had no choice. You're an idiot who forgets everything every 3 days. It's your own damn fault. Anyone looking for a scapegoat would immediately think of you.
Girl.
Quit it. I don't want to hear any more of your BS.
Speak! Speak, speak, speak. You tell them, girl. Scott scoffs once more, refusing to look at her friend for even a second.
Hands up, Miss Scott. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Wait.
Get her ass! Get her ass!
Dental checkup.
But how? She doesn't have the reel anymore. How can she still summon these monsters? She's been deeply corrupted. The ghost plagues have latched onto her. She didn't summon them. They were always lurking within her. Get away! Stay back! This isn't over. I haven't made her acknowledge me. I still have a plan. I still... Her mind is starting to unravel already. Poitier, we have to take her down now.
Don't blink.
Do you have any... I dedicate this song to you. My next performance, bubbles bursting. Listen to the melodies of winds and waves.
Hell yeah. At last, Scott gives up her resistance. Leung pushes her toward Poitier's patrol car parked around the corner. As they're about to step out of the alley, Loggerhead calls out.
Wait! Scott! I have to know, why did you steal from the Foundation?
Does it matter?
Scott turns back, laughing coldly in disbelief.
Would you feel better if I had a reason? Oh, please. Your ignorant, stupid little brain makes me sick. It was for the money, of course. And to prove to the others that I'm not a bloody fool like you.
Man, I don't know. I'd say the criminal who, like, not only stole from the foundation, which is like a death sentence, but also got caught, is more of a fool than the girl who's just like ditzy.
Imagine the shock
Just
on their
like
faces when
my
they
opinion,
discovered
though.
that I did what none of them could. Those so-called unbreakable arcane security skills were easy to deal with as long as I...
Her words trail off, and a puzzled expression crosses her face.
You what? How did you bypass the Foundation security?
I don't remember. That's weird. How could I forget? All I remember is that an office lady talked to me in the corridor.
An office lady? When? What did you talk about?
She showed me something. It was a bit dazzling, but very beautiful. It was... Oh, right! It was a...
What the hell? What the helly? A razor-sharp silver needle slices through the air, cutting her off in an instant. She raises a dazed hand, her fingertips touching the foreign object lodged in her throat, not understanding why her voice has suddenly vanished. By the time she's realized she can no longer breathe, her eyes roll back, and she falls to the ground. Silence falls in the starlit alley. Then, another flash of silver whistles by. What the helly? Did she just die in front of everyone? A sharp pain blooms in her palm. She looks down to see a sharp silver needle piercing it. The film slips from her grasp. The reel rolls across the ground, clicking as it hurtles into the darkness, until a gloved hand picks it up and brushes it off.
Still intact.
I know it!
No idea how long I've been looking for this.
You are...
Hey there, kid. We meet again.
I knew it, guys. I knew it. The gift of prophecy. The once famous star smiles at Liang with an easy, friendly charm.
Scott!
No fucking way. Is she dead?
Not yet, but I doubt she can hold on much longer. I'll
Oh,
call an
okay.
ambulance, and we're gonna need backup.
Called the Bondulance. Loggerheads scream, pug dogs cry, and Poitier's tense voice all ring in Liang's mind. Liang's rationality has already grasped the reality of the situation, but her emotions are refusing to let her shape the conclusion into clear words.
Why are you doing this?
When Loggerhead posed a similar question to Scott, Liang had questioned the inquiry. There's no need to ask why evil chooses to do evil. What's wrong is wrong. Evil must be eradicated. Ghost plagues must be purged. That was the doctrine drilled into Liang since childhood. But now, she finds herself forced to ask the same thing.
Tell me. I need a reason.
It's my old friend that you should be asking.
Liang watches as Qixing smile fades and her face turns steely.
Long time no see, Nor.
Yeah, it's been a while. The last time we saw each other was in front of her grave, if memory serves. We really should keep in touch more often.
The air in the alley is sharp as a needle. Nora continues to smile, but a wariness lurks behind her eyes.
But you've gone too far this time, my friend.
She glances at Scott's fallen body and gently shakes her head.
This isn't part of our story.
This isn't a set, Director. It's not your call.
She raises a hand, and a flash of silver pierces through the darkness.
Careful!
She leaps forward, deflects the needles, and stands firm in front of the wheelchair. Chi-Sing shows no surprise. She narrows her eyes a little, as if she foresaw this outcome.
That's the spirit. This should be fun with you here, little Vigil. Let's all play our roles, shall we?
The girls are fighting! Calculated maneuver. A random scrap of paper with intricate folds, a nod to its owner's boredom during a long meeting. A Vigil's correspondence. This letter was stuck inside a folder of interrogation records. It appears to have been exchanged silently between two Vigil's agents during an interrogation. The two distinct handwritings reflect their unspoken dialogue. She's tight-lipped about it, but she seems unaware that we've already figured out everything. Fascinating. Like a mouse in a lab experiment. Arrogant, yet clueless. There's still one thing left to figure out. How exactly did she learn to crack the anti-theft arcane seal? Or her lies and disguises fall apart under scrutiny, but she hasn't given up a single clue about this. Even our artificial somnambulism couldn't uncover anything. Could it just be sheer dumb luck? Disappointing. I've taught you better. Never rely on million-to-one coincidences. Always consider the more plausible scenario. You mean she's being controlled by someone else? And they've erased her memory, so she can betray them? Exactly. That slippery merchant gave up Scott, but there's no way a minor employee could pull off something like this. Rejoice. We've hooked a big fish. So we're letting her go? Yes, but not without loosening her strings first. Understood. I'll notify Mr. Pedro. I trust he'll ensure Miss Scott feels completely at ease after some subtle adjustments. Good. You're a reliable assistant, Billy. The second writer seemed about to reply, but left only a hesitant pen stroke. Okay. Lit screen, lit eyes. An empty heart and a pair of longing eyes. Okay.
Good. I just finished writing up.
Good. Very good. I've been waiting for this moment. The time has come for you to uphold your duty, Miss Vigil. I won't hold back, Miss Chi-Sing.
Another jar?
Another jar? Enjoy! There they are.
Oh look! Newly made this year. Oh, be careful. Let's get it over quick. My shelves! You are not welcome here.
No, wait. Don't let your guard down, kid. She's not down yet. What? This power. It doesn't look like it's hers. Huh.
We did it! We made it through another storm!
Babby.
The hell? I thought movie stars were just empty suits.
Another volley of silver needles streaks through the air, forcing Liang and Poitier back. Chi-Sing stands at the center of the alley. Through seemingly trapped between Liang and Poitier, she skillfully uses their positioning to her advantage. Neither officer can risk injuring the other by firing their gun or using an arcane skill. leaving the battle at a deadlock.
We're not going to last much longer. I have to do something. Podie, cover me! 强梁既出，王有不为。
With the ritual vessel of Changliang in her hand, Liang recites the ancient incantation, each syllable clear and deliberate. Qixing looks momentarily stunned. This is the beginning of an incantation. Liang knows more than silver needles could knows that more silver needles could come flying at her at any moment. For a brief moment, hesitation creeps over her. As a child, she sat before the screen and watched this figure over and over again. Her eyes filled with admiration. She had mimicked her arcane skill countless times. But she never imagined that, one day, those dazzling silver needles would be aimed at her. Yet, she still speaks the final words of the incantation. With these words, an ancient contract will be upheld, and this Yandao beast will be called upon to devour all evil, as is her right as a descendant of the Liang family. At least, that's what's supposed to happen.
What?
But the alley remains as empty as it was before.
Hey! Rookie, watch out!
Someone pushes her aside. She hits the ground hard. A flash of silver, the sound of shouting. Then, blood. A body falling. Sticky sensation. Warmth. Chaos. The events that follow are hazing Liang's memory. Oh my.
时辰还没到，站稳。
A sharp reprimand shatters her haze, pulling her back to focus.
That's...
A familiar courtyard. A man with a familiar face. In front of him, a little girl stands in horse stance, sweat rolling down her forehead. Her legs are trembling. Yet, the man's ebony ruler comes down mercilessly on the girl's shoulder.
不像样，和你讲了多少次，要沉肩坠肘，心静体松。
Two small heads peek over the courtyard wall, giggling and whispering to each other.
看，他就要撑不住了。嘿，活该，谁叫他向老师告密的？
The boy makes a goofy face at the girl holding the stance. The girl, already exhausted, finally loses her balance and collapses to the ground.
疏于练功，三心二用，你看看你怠惰了多少！以这样的体魄，强梁又如何能服从你？ 继续站，我等一会儿过来检查。扎不稳马步，今天晚上就不要吃饭了。
The man, her father, shakes his head in disappointment and walks away, leaving the girl gasping for breath on the ground.
走吧走吧，没意思，他又要站一天了。哎，要不要去录像厅？好呀，去街角那家吧。今天他们家放神秘警探C07。
The children hop down from the wall, laughing as they scurry off.
我也想去录像厅。
No one hears her voice, none but herself.
I remember it now. I hated Qiangliang when I was little. Father was always trying to teach me something about the 12 Zhenzi, the master of Qiangliang, fighting the wicked and dispelling evil, fulfilling the duty of my inheritance. I was only a child. It was all too difficult for me to understand. The other kids hated me. I was a traitor, a class president who took the side of the adults and enforced the rules. They'd all hang out and have fun together, while I was left alone. I envied them. Their lives were simple. I wanted that.
一角，两角，五角。
Her piggy bank lies smashed on the ground as she picks through the shards to count every coin. Amidst the broken porcelain, half of a shattered face stares up at her innocently.
对不起，小猪。
She gently brushes her fingers over its face in a gesture of comfort or farewell.
That day, a dissipate father gathered up all my savings and headed to the theater. That was the first time I watched Detective CO7. It was amazing. But I knew it was just fiction. Just an escape. It wouldn't change anything in my real life. Once the movie was over, I'd have to go back to the same home I had just left. I didn't want to leave. So I stayed in my seat for the closing credits. But the lights didn't come on when the credits ended. Rather, the silver screen lit up again and played something. It was an interview with Miss Qi Xin.
奇星小姐，有好多小朋友中意你嘅作品，將你視為佢哋嘅英雄。但另一方面，唔少成年觀眾覺得你所飾演嘅警探C07每一次都可以擊敗壞人嘅結局太過理想化，缺乏真實感。對於呢方面，你有咩睇法呢？你覺得呢點係咪警探C07系列嘅遺憾啊？
現實世界已經夠殘酷，所以我哋先會喺電影世界入面尋求一個圓滿嘅結局，一個善有善報、惡有惡報嘅理想世界。如果連喺大銀幕上面，我哋都唔可以相信正義同埋公理，咁我哋仲可以相信啲咩啊？
Qixing gazes into the camera, but also beyond it, her smile carefree, her eyes shining even brighter than the stars.
C07係正義嘅代言人，係鋤強扶弱、匡扶正義嘅英雄。無論面對點樣嘅危機或者險境，佢都可以帶俾大家期望嘅圓滿結局。我希望我哋嘅電影同埋C07呢個角色，可以帶俾銀幕前嘅觀眾力量同埋勇氣。或者唔係每個人都可以喺現實世界成為一個真正鋤強扶弱嘅戰士，畢竟呢一條路好難行。但係我希望可以通過我哋嘅電影同埋C07呢個角色，至少令大家成為喺生活中為自己身邊嘅人帶嚟圓滿結局嘅英雄。
It was just a short interview like any other. But I still remember every word she said. As the master of Qiangliang, you must use your power to fight the wicked and dispel evil. It is your duty to maintain the peace of the world. Qiangliang, the powerful being that had always been a blur to me, suddenly became clear. I realized that I could be more than just a hero who creates happy endings for herself and the people around her. I could be the hero who creates happy endings for everyone. Just like CO7. She was right. Not everyone can do that, but I could. Because I was Yue of the Liang family, the master of Qiangliang. On that day, the burden that had been crushing me suddenly became a blessing. So, what went wrong?
The image fades as another silver flash brings her back to reality. Sirens, an ambulance, blood, blood, endless blood. It seeps through the fabric of her uniform, drenching her hands. She hears someone shouting.
Stay with me, Porter, please. Why? Why did you do that?
I thought you hated me. People always hate me.
Now she can hear clearly. She realizes it's her own voice, hoarse with desperation. What did Portier say to her back then? Blood bubbles from her mouth and nose with each painful breath.
Who could tell, huh? But that's in the past. Forget it. We just didn't know you yet.
A blood-stained hand weakly pats Liang's cheek before falling limp.
Will you shut up? I'm not dead yet.
Oh my god. A thunderous smack, unbelievable from someone confined to a hospital bed, jerks Liang awake from her nightmare. Liang's head throbs. Dazed, she looks around, taking in the sterile white of the hospital room and the irritated face of her instructor.
The hell you doing sleeping on my thigh, huh? My leg's gone numb. And clean up the drool on your chin.
What? I'm sorry.
Just kidding, boo. You're not drooling. All right, turn on the TV for me. I was bored out of my mind waiting for you to wake up.
Oh my god, what a scare. Are you serious? Syncing up. Welcome to the arcade restaurant. May I take your order? So what happened next? After I passed out, how'd you manage to drive off the night piercer? We didn't drive her off. She left when she heard the sirens from the reinforcements you called. Chief Eldon arrived. Director Noir used her arcane skills to control her puppets and guide them to you. That allowed the medics to reach you and Miss Scott in time to get you to the hospital. Sounds like we owe her a big thank you. Sorry, Miss Poitier. I couldn't stop Miss teaching. She took the reunion of the Three Swallows. This is all my fault. Don't beat yourself up, kid. No one expected a night piercer to show up like that. How's Scott and Pugdog holding up? Pugdog's been caught and is in custody. Miss Scott is stable after emergency treatment, but she hasn't regained consciousness just yet. Doctors believe her coma, like those other victims, was caused by a reunion of the Three Swallows. The department has officers guarding her, but until the case is solved, we can't expect her to provide any useful information. As for Director Noir, sorry, I should have informed you earlier. She's the one who tipped me off about the illegal arcane artifact deal. Though she participated in the deal, her honesty, cooperation, and her lawyer's efforts convinced the department not to pursue her case further. Typical of Hollywood. Director can go from criminal to collaborator with just a few words. We should talk to her again about Miss Cheesing and about the Rio. Maybe there's more she hasn't told us. Interesting. Okay, next. This just in. Silence and stillness are already the highest form of alert.
Tall officer, are you up? I got you guys Chinese food. You must be hungry.
Yum.com. Oh man, today I wanted to eat some Chinese food so bad, so bad. But like there's a Chinese restaurant next to my house, but then I went there and it was closed, like for repairs or something, and I was like, what now? And I was really sad, so I just ate normally. But I want some Chinese food right now. The two officers are both staring intently at the television screen. The paper cups in their hands are crumpled tight.
Almost 20 suspects in the holding cell were injured. Most were found unconscious at the scene and are now in critical condition at the hospital. The victims include Arcane black market dealer Castor and Chicago gang leader Jason the Coyote, both of whom have since been acquitted of their crimes.
Behind the reporter, thick black smoke billows from the scene of a car accident. Flames lick at the oil spilled on the road, sending waves of searing heat into the air.
Cameras out of the way! Out of the way! The ambulance needs to come through! We need banana bags stacked. These people could go into shock.
Banana?
Oh, my skin! It burns! Help! Help! Whoever you are who did this, just wait and see! I'll tear you apart, you asshole!
Medical personnel are shoved past the journalists as they hurry over with a stretcher. The cursing and wailing of the deranged man behind the reporter echo in the background. It sends a chill down their spines.
The fire is speculated to have been started by a victim of a night piercer attack who displayed signs of mental instability. At the same time, similar incidents have occurred at the Lieber Street Detention Center and the Chinatown police station. The situations at both sites are similarly concerning. It has been reported that the Division of Arcane Affairs is considering the potential connections between these incidents. The mysterious figure behind the unresolved night piercer attacks remains their top suspect. As with the previous attacks attributed to the night piercer, the victims of these incidents are once again notorious criminals with extensive records. However, in light of the night piercer's escalating criminal activities, support for the figure is dwindling as concerns for safety rise. In response to ongoing skepticism regarding the lack of resolution of the night piercer case, Deputy Chief Eldon of the Division of Arcane Affairs stated during the press conference that
Poitier slams the power button on the remote before flicking it aside. She yanks the IV needle from her hand and grabs her uniform from the bedside.
Fuck, I pass out for half a day and Qi Xing's already turned the city into her personal playground? Grab your stuff, rookie. We're hitting the road. Gotta find this bitch before she kills someone.
Oh my god. She's mad. She's mad.
What? Your feet stuck to the floor or something?
Poitier stops only when she notices Liang still sitting motionless. Liang purses her lips, struggling to speak under Poitier's skeptical gaze.
Deputy Chief Eldon took us off the case. It was an official order.
Oh my. A few hours earlier, the LA office for the Division of Arcane Affairs fell into an eerie silence.
Early this morning, Constance Scott, a staff member of the Foundation's Arcanum Containment Department, was assaulted during an illegal arcane object trade. She's still in critical condition. Forensic Services has confirmed that the arcane skill traces found at the scene of the attack matched those left by the suspect in the ongoing Night Piercer case. Thanks to Noir and our Vigils cadet Liang Yue, who are both at the scene of the attack, we've been able to confirm the identity of the Night Piercer. Name's Qi Xing, a 29-year-old former movie actress from Hong Kong. She played the lead role in the Detective CO7 series, where she gained a reasonable amount of fame. She was in a few more movies after that, but no big hits. She officially retired from acting a few years ago. The BAU's come to the conclusion that she's confused herself with her movie character, possibly a result of a mental imbalance caused by the setbacks in her career. She thinks she's the real-life CO7, the hero who fights evil and cares for the weak. In short, we have a vigilante on our hands. Thanks to a minor mistake from the Foundation's Arcanum Containment Department, we also have a dangerous arcane item. A cursed film reel called Reunion of the Three Swallows, somewhere in the city. Liang has confirmed that Constance Scott, the staff member who was assaulted by Qi Xing yesterday, is the perpetrator of the theft. As you're all aware, there's been an explosion in mental disorders in Chinatown. We now know that the source is the cursed film reel. It's currently in Qi Xing's possession, which makes her even more dangerous. Having learned about the history behind this arcane film, we have reason to believe that obtaining it was one of her motives. Since the film's been in her possession, there have been multiple assaults around the city, all matching the patterns of the Night Piercer. But there's one key difference. This time, the victims all showed the same mental disorder as the victims of the film. We believe that the suspect is able to control the film's power to some extent, and she's using it to commit escalating crimes at a much higher frequency. We need to act before the situation gets out of control. Reinforcements from the Foundation and the Vigils Bureau are already on the way. We will do whatever we can to protect our city before they arrive.
He pauses for a moment as he sweeps his gaze over the officers. Oh my god. As he sweeps his gaze over the officers before him.
James, Carter, I'm putting you on the case. You'll be taking direct orders from me. The rest of you, stick to your posts.
Excuse me, Deputy Chief Alden. I need to ask you something.
I already know what it is.
Before Liang can speak, Alden cuts her off. His tone is calmer than she's expected.
You and Poitier saw that something was going on in Chinatown and started an investigation yourselves. You found the culprit behind the ACD theft and stopped an assault that could have ended much worse. You've done a great job.
But then his tone shifts.
But there's one key thing you failed to do. You had a chance to apprehend the Night Piercer right then and there, but somehow she slipped through your fingers. According to your report and the witnesses' statements, you failed to summon your legendary beast when you confronted the suspect. As a result, not only did the suspect get away, but your partner sustained an avoidable injury. I need my best, most reliable officer.
Oh my god. Accidentally skipped it. After a brief pause, he delivers his final verdict.
Sorry, Liang, but you don't make the cut. The two of you will be excluded from the operation.
This is bullshit! He can't cut us out! This is our case! No, we are doing this!
Calm down, Miss Putty.
Potty!
I feel fine. The doctor said you had to stay in bed for at least a few days.
The name's Poitier, and I'm fine, okay? Stop trying to...
Facts speak louder than words. Liang gently leads Poitier back down onto the bed. This time, Poitier doesn't resist.
Damn it. So what went wrong? How come your friend... Tang Ling, was it? Didn't show up?
Qiang Liang must have sensed my hesitation and refused my summon. You see, if its master can overcome their selfish desires with an unwavering heart, it can turn on them. Father used to warn me about it, but that won't happen again. I promise.
Poitier narrows her eyes as she studies Liang for a moment.
If you say so. What are you gonna do now?
Liang takes a deep breath.
I'll continue with the investigation. I need to find Qixing.
What? But that angry grandpa already pulled you off the case.
I have to do this.
What for? Because of your duty to fight evil as the master of Xiangliang?
Poitier furrows her brow, but to her surprise, Liang shakes her head.
I've always had two things guiding me. My duty as a member of the Liang family, and the spirit of CO7. But now, Qianliang has ignored my summon, and Qixing has turned out to be anything but a hero. They were once the beacons of my life, but not anymore. This could be a setback, yes. Or It could be an opportunity. For the first time in my life, I can think about what I really want without having to consider anything else.
After a brief moment of surprise, Poitier lets out a laugh.
You know what, Rookie? It always grinds my gears when you talk about your duty and all that stuff. But what you're saying now, I like it.
Aren't you going to stop me?
Why would I? It's our case, isn't it? There's nothing wrong with doing our job. If Eldon bitches about it, just tell him you bumped into the crook when you were strolling around the city.
Seriously?
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that, is there? So what's the game plan, huh? What are you gonna do?
This scene again? I must have done a dozen takes already, right?
Yeah, I'm no movie expert, but even I can tell the actor's nervous as hell.
Of course he is. Anyone would be nervous if they knew a wanted criminal could show up at any time and mess you up with Arcanum. Eldon tried to keep the details of the case a secret, but that director from Hong Kong told her crew about it as soon as she came back.
The two uniformed figures stand in the narrow alley in Chinatown. They came to protect the potential target of an attack, Noir, but were politely turned away on the grounds of disrupting filming. Now, they can only confirm the situation inside the set by peering through the slightly ajar door.
I mean, I guess they have the right to know. And to run. Half of the extras got the hell out as fast as they could. And look at the other half. They're too nervous to work.
I know. Hey, that's the Vigil's cadet, isn't it? What's she doing here?
Suspicious.
The officer said you're here to help, is that right? Excellent. We could really use a hand right now. Come, let's get you in costume.
Nora greets her guest with her usual amiable smile. Having reached an agreement with Liang to cooperate in an arrest, Noir has not been charged for her illegal trading of the arcane object. After being released from custody this morning, she immediately returned to filming.
I'm more than happy to help. But first, I have something important to ask you.
Noir pauses.
Right to the point this time. I see.
I love when her little doll nods because it's so cute. Next time she does it. Check it out.
I don't think there's any need to tiptoe around each other anymore. Could you answer me directly this time? What happened between you, Qixing, and He Rijun, the creator of Reunion of the Three Swallows? How did she die? Why do you and Miss Qixing both want that film? And why is she doing this?
Nora looks at Liang, her usual smile fading slightly.
What do you plan to do with my answers?
To Qixing, I'm probably just another fan. But to me, she and her character means something. I need to know why. I have to arrest her and find out the truth. Maybe I can still fix things, but Miss Noah, I need your help if I'm going to do it.
This time, Yang says exactly what she's thinking. She holds her breath as she awaits Noir's response.
You mean you want to know more about her? To peek behind the scenes, learn what really happened behind all the movie magic. I told you it's not a good idea. We create works not just to express ourselves, but to entertain. And when we release them to the public, we open ourselves to all kinds of commentary, whether they be sweet or bitter. But the people behind the characters, behind the production, they are not for entertainment. Their lives are not fiction.
Is that a no?
I haven't finished.
She raises an eyebrow, a hint of mischief growing behind her smile.
Though I don't advocate trying to cross the line between on and off screen, if we cast aside your relationship as fan and actress and treat you simply as individuals, saying I want to know more about you sounds rather beautiful. It's touching, really. I'll answer your questions, Miss Liang. Follow me.
LA efficiency. New reports, same old faces, same old work. Guidelines from the Vigils Bureau on recent arcane violence. Based on the latest Vigils Bureau guidelines on recent Arcanum-related violence, modifications and updates have been made to warrants and relayed to enforcement departments. Details are as follows. Wanted, cheating, codename Night Piercer. Threat level raised to A. Last seen in Los Angeles and surrounding areas. Any local institutions encountering this individual must notify the Vigils Bureau immediately. Oh my god! Wanted, Arcana leader of Management Dictate. Threat level maximum. Any Arcanist who encounters this individual must avoid engagement and immediately report. Okay. Oh, report to the Foundation and request military assistance. Revoke, confirm deceased. Do I trust this? Not really. Wanted, Kimberly, Miss Kimberly. Threat level B. Capture and detain upon encounter. Then await Vigils Bureau support. Revoked. Ew! Ew, brother. Wanted, Forget-Me-Not, Officer of Management Dictate. Threat level A+. Capture and detain upon encounter. Then immediately contact the Vigils Bureau for support. Additionally, submit a report to the local Foundation office when reporting to the Bureau. Ew, brother. Before the spotlight. Years later, all they remember is that empty stage.
Our story began 11 years ago. Life was tough, as it is for all young artists. But, like the beginning of many stories, there was a kind of beauty in it.《又一新浪潮》導演處女作亮相，胡圖雖然底子極佳，但由於大膽創新過度，導致內容詭異顛覆。即使業內有讚，但大眾實在難以欣賞，最終票房慘淡收場，實屬糊塗。咁我仲有咩好講啊？冇 taste 就係冇 taste。
She casually tosses the newspaper onto the table, the loud thud drawing surprised glances from the nearby diners.
OK， 要叫好又叫座，有時係要妥協嘅。但係問題係我一向最唔擅長。
Also, oh my god.
妥協咯。
I love this young noir. She looks so good.
Noah？ 係咪 Noah？ 估唔到會咁啱喺度見到你。
Ah, she looks so cute.
見返你真係好開心啊！你係 Teresa？ 你點解喺度嘅？你幾時返香港㗎 ？Teresa, or as you know her by 何日君, was a dear friend of mine, the scriptwriter of Detective CO7 and the creator of the cursed film Reunion of the Three Swallows. 呢 this is a pretty good script. Interesting. Teresa and I met while we were studying abroad at the film academy. We took the same scriptwriting class. We didn't talk much at first. She always sat in the corner on her own. I only got to know her after our teacher showed a script to the class as an example of excellent work. The writer's name: Teresa. Her stories could strike a balance between the details and the big picture. They were engaging, light-hearted, and warm. So, in that moment, when we met again at the restaurant, I realized she was the one I'd been looking for. At that time, she was an editor at a small press. I invited her to join my studio, and 3 months later, she put the first edition of Detective CO7 on my table.
所以你覺得點啊？你覺得邊度唔夠好嘅話，我都可以改啊。
我諗緊主角要揀邊個？哦，你個劇本寫得好好，比我想象中仲要好。我哋就用你個劇本。So we had the script, but we couldn't decide who would play the heroine. We held endless auditions, even considered some famous actresses, but none of them fit. Until that night.
頭先嗰幾個你覺得點啊？我覺得最後嗰個好似都 OK。
唔得，佢唔夠 sharp。你都睇得出㗎。既然睇得出，就唔好焗住自己揀。我唔想將就。
但係，萬一現實生活裏面根本唔存在呢個完全符合我哋想象嘅完美人選呢？萬一佢
咁，我就會一直揾，直到喺現實世界揾到為止。
Oh my！
哎呀，你喐手腳做咩啊？
我就係喐手喐腳啊！點啊？死鹹豬手！呢度唔歡迎你哋啊！仲唔快啲躝？
你睇住嚟啊！我唔會放過你㗎。
After throwing out a few uninspired threats, the hooligans flee in disgrace. Behind the door, a worried face peeks out.
哎呀，大鑊啦！今次嗰兩個古惑仔附近出晒名，佢哋肯定會翻嚟報仇㗎。我知你睇唔慣佢哋對個靚女鹹豬手，但係人哋都唔出聲啦，你嬲咩啫？你咁搞法之後，我點做生意啊？唉，今鋪真係俾你累死啊，阿星！
得啦，事頭，我走。佢哋再嚟就叫佢哋嚟搵我。嗱，鋪頭鎖匙啊！你記得早啲嚟開門啊，唔係啲熟客等到戇居居。
阿星，你唉呀！
The restaurant owner resigns to taking the key in silence. Without a backward glance, the girl steps down from the door, only to be quickly stopped.
睇嚟你啱啱失業喎。
邊位啊？關你咩事啊？
我有份工介紹俾你，你對做戲有冇興趣啊？Ah-Sing was surprised when I made the offer. She said she needed to think about it, so Teresa gave her a copy of the script. The next day, she knocked on our door and took the offer. Later, we learned that Ah-Sing was born into a poor family. Her father was in prison, and her mother had mental issues. She'd been the breadwinner for the family since she was a kid. Her father's reputation would often get her into trouble, so usually she was either on the way to a job or to a fight.
As memories surface, Noir lets out a sentimental smile.
The CO7 you saw always had a confident smile on her face. But in actual fact, Ah-Seng almost never smiled at the beginning. An actor should learn to commit to the moment in front of the camera and come back to reality behind it. But Ah-Seng didn't. She didn't come back to reality. She's never once stopped playing the role of CO7 since then. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. She started to smile the way CO7 smiled. She went from brash and reckless to sly and methodical, just like CO7. The deputy chief and the BAU made a mistake. Ah-Seng has not confused herself with her character. After all these years in the movie industry, I've seen a lot of actors get carried away by the glitz and glamour of their characters. But Ah-Seng is different. She values CO7 even more than herself. So much so that, ultimately, it eclipsed her own consciousness. Miss Liang, you asked me which rumors about CO7 and the three of us were true. Now I can give you an answer. Most of them were.
Scary. Nora maneuvers her wheelchair to the desk, pulls out a file from the bottom drawer, and hands it to Liang. The file is heavy. Liang opens it up and finds an aged photograph.
Is this?
3 women posed together. Their identities are obvious.
We drew a lot of attention after the release of CO7. Put a magnifying glass up to anyone, and you'll always find imperfections. We were no exception. Ah-Seng was as stubborn and uncompromising as I was. When we disagreed, it would blow up into a huge argument, neither one of us giving in to the other. Poor Teresa was always caught in the middle. I was too young, too bullheaded, to realize the consequences that this might cause. I tore a path forward, often ignoring the people around me. Teresa, on the other hand, was kind-hearted, perhaps too much so. She never got angry, no matter what people said. She just bottled it up inside and let it eat away at her.
Nora gazes at the smiling faces in the photo, her expression tinged with nostalgia and the faintest hint of sorrow.
She didn't like taking photos. She was self-conscious about her appearance, so we only have a few together. This one was taken when we were shooting CO7 too. We were so close back then. Of course, we knew we'd have to part ways eventually, but we didn't concern ourselves with that. Even then, our shortcomings had started to hurt our relationship. But by the time we realized it, the damage had been done.
唔得，呢個結局太離譜啦！司靈真唔會咁做㗎。
When we were making CO7-3, Ah-Seng was up in arms about the ending. In the sequence, CO7 tracks a criminal through a Shehua parade, hoping to finish him off herself. But when she finds him sitting at home with his family, she changes her mind. Ah-Seng didn't like it. She said that CO7 would punish the villain for what he's done, that she would never change her mind. We had countless arguments over this ending, and of course, we never reached a conclusion.
得啦得啦，到此為止。我哋咁嘈落去都冇意義。我有個提議。
So I cheated.
Oh my.
Were I in the same position now, I'd solve the problem more delicately. But I was a jerk back then. The only thing that mattered was the movie. I couldn't care less about what people thought, including my heroine. I asked Teresa to write an alternative ending, and told Ah-Seng that we'd shoot both endings and pick the better one together. She agreed.
But you didn't keep your word. You released the movie with the original ending.
It turned out to be very popular, but Ah Sing saw it as a betrayal. At the premiere, she announced she was quitting the new art company that the three of us had founded together. I didn't stop her. Teresa tried to mend our relationship, like she always did.
我寫咗個新劇本，唔係407續作，係全新嘅故仔啊！如果你哋覺得有意思嘅話，我哋下一部戲可以拍佢啊！我自己拍咗部片花，雖然好簡單，可能拍得唔係幾好，但係可以嘅話，我哋一齊睇啊！
It was her proof of concept for reunion of the Three Swallows. I knew Teresa had always wanted to put an end to the CO7 series and write something she was really passionate about. Perhaps she thought a new story would help Ah Sing move away from CO7 and become herself again. Unfortunately, when she came to show us the script, Ah Sing and I were in the middle of a fight.
Oh my.
唔使啦，我唔會再同你哋拍戲。
阿星，等陣啊
Ah Sing had always been kind to Teresa, but on that day, she pushed her out of the doorway and stormed off. While well, as I said, I was a jerk. I flipped through her script, and a flurry of harsh words left my mouth.
What the hell?
點解仲係上次嗰個類型㗎？我咪講咗咯，呢種故事唔啱你寫啊！
The script, along with the reel, is shoved back into her agent's hands without a second glance.
In the end, neither Ah Sing nor I cared enough to watch Teresa's sizzle reel, even though she tried so hard to present it to us. That was the last time we saw Teresa.
That fire.
Yes, that's why I'd pay any price to get that film. Her script was burned to ashes in the fire. I need to know what story she was trying to tell. I suppose Ah Sing feels the same.
Noir gestures toward the file.
This is what you wanted to see last time you and your officer friend visited me.
You mean the threatening letter?
It's not a letter, actually.
Young sets down the photo and pulls out the remaining contents of the file. It's the unaged script, its cover yellowed by time. As she flips through, familiar lines of dialogue meet her eyes. In an instant, she understands the significance of what she's holding.
It's the script of Detective 071.
The original. The one Teresa handed to Ah Sing all those years ago.
Young never imagined that one day she would be holding the origin of the very film that inspired her as a child. There is no doubt. Chi Sing must have returned it to Noir. But why? What does this mean? She continues to flip through until her fingers meet an object tucked between the pages.
Is this a poster of the Shehuo parade? Oh, right. It's almost time for the Dushuo festival. With everything going on these days, I almost forgot.
Lang's expression suddenly shifts.
Wait, is Miss Qixing going to...
Your guess is as good as mine.
They exchange a glance, then both turn their gaze to the image of the Shehuo parade printed on the poster in front of them. What's this? The Joy of Dushuo. Chinese TV news clips featuring the warm-up for the Chinatown Shehuo parade. Chinese TV news segment, Shehuo parade. Our reporter brings you an exclusive frontline update. As the Dushuo festival begins, Los Angeles' Chinatown is once again alive with the excitement of the Shoho Parade. Humans and Arcanists will soon come together to pray for a year of peace and prosperity. We are currently at the Chinatown Community Center, which houses 12 sacred arcane idols, marking the starting point of the parade. We're fortunate to be interviewing Principal Huang, who is the Seer's summoning official. Principal Huang, could you tell us about your role in the festival? The summoning official is responsible for reciting the summoning rites and inviting the idols. After lunch, the rotating god of Xietia, not sure, will be placed on the palanquin. Some of the parade members have already gathered outside. That's right, we can see the people carrying lanterns and flags preparing for the parade. Principal Huang, what's that large animal lantern over there? That is a Lushu, a Xiangrui. Later, it will join the Beast Lantern team. The parade will be led by the 5 colored banners and the Yingut troop, followed by the Xiandao beasts and Xiangrui creatures. Not sure, I don't remember the pronunciation. Quite the spectacle. The Xiandao beasts, are those the legendary creatures said to ward off evil plagues? Exactly. During the plague banishing segment, General Qianmo will shout the command, and 3 young men wearing Xiandao beast masks will sing the plague banishing song, imitating the beasts to drive out evil. The musicians will accompany them with gongs and drums. The parade will go on until late at night. Quite the festivity. Thank you, Principal Huang. Though the parade has yet to start, we can see the crowds waiting already. Stay tuned as we bring you live coverage at the Shoho Parade. Quite awesome. Watchers, protectors, defenders. The fire they held high lit up the children's faces.
Wow! Look at all these people! Oh, we should have come earlier. I can hardly see a thing from here.
And whose fault is that? You are the one who took ages to get ready. Anyway, at least we haven't missed much. Looks like it just started. I heard there's a new event this year. I wonder what it is.
Not an event. A film crew is shooting a scene during the parade. Apparently, they already talked to Mr. Shao and said they wouldn't cause any trouble. Let's go check it out. Maybe we can get into one of the shots.
This is the busiest time of year in Chinatown. The streets are filled to the brim. But for those with keen eyes, some outliers can be spotted among the crowd.
This is C2. All clear.
Copy. Group C, all clear. No sign of target. All units, stay in position. Wonder how the Vigil Girl and Eldon are doing.
Having ended the transmission, the officer glances toward a Chinese restaurant at the street corner. Despite the bustling crowd, the sign on its door reads, "Closed."
Do I really have to go outside like this?
Deputy Chief Eldon stands awkwardly in front of the mirror as he stares at the brightly colored, traditional outfit he's adorned in. The man across from him sneers, shadowing his last shred of hope to be saved from it.
No, you need to paint your face too. I'm not gonna let you join the parade looking like a weirdo. You're the one who said that the parade needed guards in case there was an attack. Have you changed your mind? I'd be more than happy to kick you out of here. Sorry, but your profiling and a BAU report seemed like a load of crap to me. If someone does attack the parade, I'm sure we can handle it ourselves.
Listen, I won't pretend to understand the meaning behind all this. But what I do understand is that this is one of the most important events of the year for the people of Chinatown. The target could strike at any time, so we need to be prepared. No one wants to see a celebration turn into a nightmare.
Why didn't you say that to your men? They are the ones who've ignored the Chinatown all this time. What a hypocrite.
He glares at the officers with clear distrust in his eyes. But before tensions can rise anymore, the girl beside him cuts in with a smile. Oh my god!
Today's our big day. That sour face of yours is gonna scare this guy straight off.
Oh my god! It's the GOAT. This event is already PEEM.
Leave the past in the past lah. They are doing this for the right reasons. What we got to lose? Besides, we could really use a hand right now. They can make up for our manpower shortage. Now, give me a big smile lah, before your long face scares off our good fortune.
Hey, you. Always a sweet talker, aren't you, eh?
He huffs and glares, but eventually waves it off.
Fine. But you've got to look the part if you're gonna be in the parade. I don't care what your mission is. Oh, you, Blondie! Tighten your belt, or your pants will fall down with your dance. And the big guy over there, the lining should be under your coat.
The famed Chinatown investigator yells corrections to the officers as they do their best to don the traditional attire. His tone is sharp, but surprisingly patient. Seeing his old friend, much mellowed from before, Eldon removes his garish headpiece and turns to An.
Thanks for all your help, Miss Lee. We never would have been able to join the parade unnoticed if you hadn't persuaded the residents to cooperate with us.
You are welcome lah, sir. Even though I only came here a few months ago, I've already gotten pretty close to the residents. So, it was pretty easy to convince everyone. Don't worry about it lah. Besides, the Shehuo parade is for everyone, whether they're here to watch or dance. We are always happy to have more people join the celebration. Uncle Zhou might be a little stubborn, but you know gala, that's just what he's like. Don't take it personally.
She turns her head, gesturing towards a few unfamiliar faces at the other end of the restaurant.
These guys are arcane detectives and influential people around Chinatown. I told them to all keep an eye out too. There's a saying in Hong Kong, as stupid as the god of longevity who hangs himself. That will be Night Piercer if she comes anywhere near Chinatown.
Alden nods before gently shaking his head with a complex expression.
I know everyone here will be grateful if Night Piercer doesn't show up. But then we'll still have a dangerous criminal with an equally dangerous arcane item on the loose. Nothing's more dangerous than an unexploded bomb. I want to eliminate the threat once and for all. The question is, will she come? Was the little vigil right?
Late last night, Yang knocked on Eldon's office door. She had returned from her morning rejection with renewed determination.
The Shehuo parade, sir.
At that time, the Division of Arcane Affairs was still brightly lit, with most officers racking their brains to track down T-Sing without success. That was when Liang had stormed in with her important collaborator, ignoring the puzzled glances from her colleagues, and slammed a thick stack of reports onto his desk.
Miss Noah isn't like any of Qixing's previous targets. She's much more important. Miss Qixing still can't accept the way Miss Noah ended a Detective CO73. That's her motive. The ending consists of two major elements, the Shehuo parade and the villain who should have been punished. She now sees Noah as that villain, and she's going to attack her at the coming Shehuo parade. That will be our chance to arrest her.
The Shehuo parade? Do you have any idea what you're suggesting?
The sheer thickness of the report is intimidating. Eldon skims through it before casting a questioning look at the unexpected visitor Liang had dragged in. The visitor nods.
Don't worry, sir. I'd be happy to cooperate. As bait. Asing will come. I promise.
The sound of the back door opening breaks Selden's thoughts. He looks up to see Portier pushing Noir's wheelchair inside, Loggerhead following closely behind.
As far as I can remember, she's never been late to anything.
Heath, why aren't you dressed up? I've been looking forward to it all day.
Wow, so many people. I'll make sure I capture some great memories of this.
Noir remains her usual unruffled self, while Portier teases her colleagues, and Loggerhead eagerly looks around. Alan sighs and rubs his forehead.
I understand that the festival atmosphere is exciting, but you ladies need to remember that we're not here to celebrate. There's a tough fight ahead of us. Portier, you sure you're healed up?
Of course, Chief. You've approved my participation in this operation. It's too late to take it back now.
Alan looks her over. Clearly she's alive and well, but he still carries concern on his face. Eventually, he sighs and nods.
What about Miss Latham? You've been proven innocent, and I heard the Foundation told you to await orders. There's no reason for you to be here.
Elden's words draw everyone's attentions to Loggerhead. Her head twitches slightly.
Yeah, but it'd be weird to stay in my room alone when everyone's out here. Don't you think? Anyway, I'm waiting for Scott to wake up from her coma. I want to ask her why she stole from the Foundation and pinned it on me. I need to know what she thinks about me and our friendship. If I let you guys do all the work while I just wait in my room, I won't be able to question her without feeling insecure. I know I might not be all that helpful, but I'll do everything I can.
The camera lens almost seems to flash with something resembling a plea.
Miss Latham's being modest. As a staff member of the Arcanum Containment Department, she knows how to deal with that film reel better than any of us. She may forget things, but she still has a wealth of knowledge. Her experience might just make the difference between failure and success.
All right, you've got a point. Miss Latham, thanks for lending us your expertise.
Ellen finally nods. Loggerhead lights up.
Great! Just leave it to me. I can deal with the film. I've rewatched all my related memories, so I remember every detail, even down to the scratches on its surface.
With Loggerhead officially permitted to join, the final member of the operation team is the last to arrive.
There you are.
Aww, she looks so cute! I love all the attire, love the thingies on her hair. She looks gorge.
Everyone was gone when I left the changing room. I thought something was... What's wrong?
Wow, the costume fits you so well. Fancy, whoa. It doesn't even look like a costume. Much fancier than that. You are like the best parade dancer I've ever seen. There's no way the night piercer will spot you. Look at her, Uncle Zhao. So cool, huh?
The Chinatown investigator scrutinizes Liang from head to toe before letting out a derisive snort.
Is that the Liang's family ritual dress? Let me see. Good. You're wearing it right. Nice to know that at least some kids remember their traditions. You better not dishonor your family wearing this, kid.
My thoughts exactly. Everything's in place. You sure you can perform this time, Vigil? I don't want a repeat of last time. The alley out back's empty. Show us what you got.
He gestures to the officers, motioning them to line up before Liang. Each officer stands tall and imposing, forming what feels like a solid wall before Liang. Refusing to shy away, She squares her shoulders and meets their gazes head on.
Yes, sir. I will prove myself to you.
Stay behind me. I'll keep us safe.
I didn't bring any tissues, princess, so if you start crying, you have to wipe your nose on your new uniform. Alright, let's see if I'm up against a powerless little girl or a real challenger. Understood, sir. I will go easy on you. Okay, girl.
This textbook was
Yeah.
made this year.
Time to stand on your toes.
Let's get it over quick. Another jar? Enjoy! I said go away! Gotcha!
Oh, alright, stop. Or at least I acknowledge you now. Not bad. Good. Looks like she wasn't just hot talk. Sorry, I did my best to restrain myself. Whew. If this had kept up, we'd have been exhausted before the real suspect even showed up. Haha.
I gave it my all. I have no regrets.
After several rounds of trials, Liang remains standing, her expression firm and determined, her gaze burning with resolve. Satisfied, Alden nods.
Looks like I've got nothing to worry about. You ready, kid?
He rolls up his sleeve and checks the time on his watch.
Parade's starting soon. I'll go get dressed. The rest of you...
I need to talk to Miss Liang. Could you give us a moment?
Don't be late.
Portier glances at them before following the others back inside. The alley suddenly feels empty. Liang waits quietly for Noir to speak, but she never does. She simply stares at the distant lights, as if the revelry and noise belonged to another world. Eventually, Liang can wait no longer.
Why me, Miss Noah?
Suspicious. The law of causation. The fruit taken must be returned to their branches. The cheers and laughter of the Shohua parade echo through the alley, muffled and distant.
You could have just told Alden about what happened between the three of you. You could have shown him the threatening letter. Maybe then he wouldn't have made the order to shoot the target if necessary. Yes, Miss Qixing has committed multiple assaults, but she hasn't killed anyone. I don't think she deserves to die. So, as I promised, I will do my best to catch her alive. That being said, if...
She takes a deep breath.
If drastic measures have to be taken, I will not hesitate.
Oh my. Liang's final words are anything but polite. She holds her breath as she awaits Noir's response. After a brief silence, Noir speaks.
Ah Sing was a good actress.
Liang anticipated all kinds of responses from Noir, but not this one.
Huh?
Yes. She was a skilled martial artist with remarkable control over her arcane skill. But that's not what makes a successful actress. Before we'd even start shooting, she'd have everything memorized. Her lines, her movements, even the details of her expression. She'd take as many shots as were necessary to... As you know,
Oops.
I was a perfectionist, always taking it too far. Many of my crew quit halfway through my projects. Even Teresa struggled sometimes. She told me more than once that she couldn't do it anymore. Only Ah Sing could keep up with my pace. In fact, she'd often be a few steps ahead. Because she shared my vision, that drive for something better, no matter the cost. She was a good actress indeed. I know that we'll probably never be partners again, but I still don't want her to be treated like this.
In Liang's memories, Noir was always smiling. Sometimes friendly, sometimes distant, with the mischievousness of a child, or the cunning and unyielding pride of a woman totally in control. But at this moment, when she turns her head, there is no smile. What burns quietly in her eyes is something akin to rage.
You said you were going to figure out the truth. Well, it seems you and I agree that things aren't as simple as they appear. The Arcanum Containment Department's security system should be almost unbreakable. So how is it that Miss Scott, a regular staff member with no special skills, managed to break through it? And why was she selected to go after Miss Latham? What was she about to say before that needle pierced her neck? Ah Sing's actions don't make sense either. After all these years, why has she decided to take revenge now? Is it because she found the film? There are simply far too many coincidences. If one of my writers wrote a script like this, they'd be fired on the spot.
You mean there's something else going on behind all this?
Noir gives her a look of approval.
The scene has been staged. I can feel it. The lights, the cameras, the cast, they're all in position. And when the clapperboard claps, the movie will begin. And this time, I'm not sitting behind the camera, but in front of it. Miss Liang, I've been holding back. I apologize for that. I hadn't figured out which role you'd play in this movie.
If you're saying this to try to get me to talk about the behind the scenes of my life, I'm afraid you'll be disappointed.
No, of course not. You got me wrong.
She waves a hand dismissively, her expression light, but her eyes still blazing.
I'm a director. I don't act in movies made by others. Ah Sing, Miss Latham, Miss Scott. The camera's focused on them too. But none of us know where the story will go.
Something stirs in Liang's chest.
You mean Miss Qixing's being manipulated? I've considered that possibility, but who's the one behind the camera? What do they want?
All I know is that if Ah Sing continues down this path, there will be no happy ending for her. I understand that she's trying to reach something she's always strived for, but whoever's orchestrating this won't let her get it. I've done that to her before, and it was a huge mistake. I won't let that happen again.
What are you going to do?
Noir smiles.
Since coming to Hollywood, there's one thing I found difficult to accept. The producers always stick to the script. They're obsessed with it. Changes are incredibly rare. But that's not how we do it in Hong Kong. The script's finished, and so what? Things will always come up during shooting. You have to be flexible if you want to make truly great art. If a moment of inspiration were to strike me and I weren't allowed to add it to the movie, then you may as well just kill me there.
Oh my. Liang takes a moment to understand all this.
You want to change the script?
Precisely. But we have a small issue.
Noir gestures to her legs resting on the wheelchair.
As you can see, I'm not exactly ready to jump to my feet and into the action. I'm better at working behind the camera than I am in front of it. So, I need a protagonist. One who's as eager as I am to change the script and find that perfect ending. Are you interested?
She reaches a hand out to Liang.
It would be an honor.
And Liang takes it in her own. Ooh, sneaky! Sneaky, sneaky.
Attention, please. Noir will be shooting a movie during the Shahua parade as planned. Let's go over the plan one more time. Group A will hide among the cast. Group B, cameramen. And Group C, you're in the crowd. Once Xixing appears, close in and arrest her as soon as possible. Got it? They're all set too. Good. Everyone, take your positions.
All right, Noir. The time has come. This will be our final scene.
Huh? What's going on? That light's so bright.
Whoa. I'm feeling kinda dizzy.
Mummy, I'm scared.
That arcane fluctuation. It's from reunion of the Three Swallows. But how did she?
Scary.
Look at my back.
What are those twisted shadows? Ah, they're swarming all over. Sob. Don't be afraid, child. Here, stand behind me. Stay calm, everyone. This is just a new parade performance.
Saxophone band. A bandura? As you wish.
Don't blink.
Listen up.
I can feel it. The source of these malevolent spirits is nearby. Wait, is that Xixing?
We worked on this collaboration together. I'll write you into my paper.
Also, oh my god, I'm still not over how handsome this Winsong looks. She looks so pretty, so elegant, so oh my god. I love her. The lights on either side of the street blur, polluting the night sky, turning it into a swirling mess. It's as if everything in sight has been tossed onto a painter's palette and smeared and blended. All definitions have been lost.
What's happening?
Is this part of the parade? How'd they do that?
Secret!
Wait! What's this?
Stand back.
A young officer rushes forward, positioning herself between the unknown monster and the Chinatown residents. Oh my god.
Easy.
Thank you. They teach you that in Hong Kong?
That thing's nothing like the critter you are used to dealing with. What were you thinking rushing like that? You're totally out of your league.
I was about to attack. What else was I supposed to do?
he swallows whatever snarky remark he had planned, instead looking around at the eerie figures shifting in the shadows.
They look like ghosts, but there's something different about them. So, little ghost hunter, can that machine of yours tell us what they are?
1 second, Uncle Zhao. Lily's working on it.
Under the bewildered gazes of the officers, the young ghost hunter's human-headed Lily lets out a chilling, eerie laugh. Anan's expression changes.
What? You mean that was a living man's soul?
Suspicious.
Just got confirmation that this thing's covering the whole of Chinatown. Comms are down, and we can't seem to leave either.
Arcane humanoids spotted in all directions. Don't seem to be critters of the beyond. Must be some kind of arcane creation. They're everywhere and immune to regular bullets. Arcane skills and specialized bullets break them apart for a while, but then their bodies just morph back together. No casualties so far, but people are panicking. What do we do, Chief?
Sorry, not my type.
The specialized bullets successfully repel the shadowy beings, but their supply is limited. Alden has to fall back, yelling into his chameleon comm as he does so.
Everyone keep calm. Groups A and C, protecting the public is your top priority. These things seem to follow anything that moves. Lure them away. Miss Lee, Mr. Joe, gather as many civilians as you can and guide them to a safe place.
He expected the private investigator to fire back with his usual sarcasm, but to his surprise, his response is immediate and to the point.
No problem. They know us. I'm sure we'll be able to calm them down. I'll tell them they are special effects. They all know that a movie was being shot here. That should help. At least long enough to get them to safety. That means you guys are gonna have to figure this out yourselves. Show me what you've got, Arcane Affairs.
We won't let you down.
He takes another deep breath, filling his body with renewed strength.
Group B, hold your positions. Target's probably trying to distract us with these monsters. What's your status? Report immediately.
This is Portier. Same thing's happening at the rear of the parade. Noir's side, though.
Keep it that way. The rest of you keep your eyes peeled. The target could appear at any time. Camerahead, any idea what's going on?
Camerahead. The Arcanum Containment Department employee is the person most likely to understand the current anomaly.
I think Chinatown's been sealed inside an arcane barrier created by the film. There's nothing in the records about this, but these arcane fluctuations are definitely from the film.
What about those ghost things? I don't remember the file saying it could spawn spirits out of thin air.
Well, I don't know. Reunion of the Three Swallows can play and record, that's for sure. But even if its power has been enhanced somehow, it probably wouldn't develop a completely unrelated ability.
You are right, because it's not unrelated.
An's voice crackles through the communicator. Even the usually carefree ghost hunter sounds a little tense.
Remember the film's victims? Part of them was taken away by its recall ability. What they lost was part of their spiritual energy and memories. They are Sawan Tapa, or 3 souls and 7 spirits. These monsters are actually the Sawan Tapa of the victims.
They're the victim's spiritual energy? But how did the film do that?
The chilling appearance of the phantoms makes it difficult to connect them with what An has declared them to be.
I'm not sure, but Lily's never wrong. So, let's not try to eliminate these things. Or the victims will never get their Sawan Tapak back.
An's voice, transmitted through the DAA communicator, reaches Liang's ears.
Essentially, she's holding everyone in Chinatown hostage. We certainly weren't expecting that.
Liang looks at the figure standing just a few meters ahead. The frightened crowd clings to their family and friends, frantic and scared. And those who are alone gather with others near the dim glow of the shop fronts in search of any semblance of warmth and reassurance. They have no way of knowing that the one responsible for all this is standing just a few steps away.
I didn't want it to come to this. This was between me and Noor, but you just couldn't leave it alone, could you? So here we are. Sounds like you already know what this film reel is capable of. Good. Saves me the trouble of explaining it. Now, bring me Noor.
Let's see, truthful exchange. People just can't resist sharing their hearts with strangers. You know, I've shared so many of my stories with you. Why don't you tell me some of yours? Directors are always on the lookout for good material. I'm curious about your past. They say you're a once-in-a-generation talent, the one who summoned the Changliang, the Xiandao beast that hadn't answered the Liang family's call in 300 years. That was all just a misunderstanding. Oh? The day I summoned Changliang, I learned its name and glimpsed its memories. Centuries ago, Changliang was gravely injured during its last summoning and has been recovering ever since. That's why it hasn't answered the Liang family's calls. I just happened to summon it when it was finally healed. My family thought Changliang chose me, so they placed high expectations on me. But I'm no chosen one. I was just lucky. Does your family know about this? No, I never told them. I did not want to disappoint them. Aww. False dilemma. Between what people see and what they judge. Also, let me just... because we were running out of stamina.
Target spotted. I repeat, target spotted.
Within moments of the plainclothes officer's words, the arriving police evacuate the crowd and seal off the street. The officers form an impenetrable barrier, trapping both the target and Liang inside. They stand in a face-off.
What's going on? Who are they?
The bystanders erupt into fervent speculation. Deputy Chief Alden steps into the containment zone.
Impressive, Night Piercer. This is a whole new level, even for you. Tell me, what did you pull to take control of that film reel?
I didn't pull anything, officer. I chose to fulfill my wish. That's all.
Without warning, an excruciatingly sharp noise tears through her skull, sending waves of vertigo crashing over her. For several agonizing seconds, she can hear nothing but the distant groans of the officers and bystanders suffering alongside her. It's a fight just to stay upright. When the assault on her senses finally subsides, the first thing she registers is a voice coming from her communicator.
Something bad's happening.
The urgency in the officer's voice sets Liang's nerves on edge, but then her tone shifts.
Wait, maybe it's good. Those things, they stopped moving. They're not attacking anymore.
You kidding?
Liang and Alden exchange a puzzled glance before scanning their surroundings. The shifting shadows have indeed stopped moving, and the reason is obvious. Their wary gazes turn to their target. She's standing calmly in the middle of the street, unfazed by the array of loaded firearms aimed directly at her.
I never wanted to get innocent people involved. As I said before, This is between me and Noor. Now, may I see my dear old friend? If you're worried about her safety, the little vigil can tag along.
Liang and Eldon exchange a look.
It's too dangerous. We've already put Noir at considerable risk. But pushing her right into the hands of a criminal? I don't think so. We can't put a civilian in danger like that. Besides, why would Qixing let you go with her? You're walking right into a trap.
Trap or not, I'm afraid we don't have much choice.
Her voice isn't loud, but in this high-tension standoff, its slow and measured cadence feels completely out of place. Poitier pushes Noir's wheelchair forward, placing her squarely in the spotlight.
Poitier, what are you doing? I told you to hold position.
Noir raises a hand, smiling as she cuts off Eldon's rising fury.
Please don't blame Officer Poitier, sir. I forced her to bring me here.
What? What the hell are you thinking?
It's time I put an end to all of this. No need to worry, officer. Our reliable vigil will keep me safe, isn't that right?
Yes, of course. I will ensure Miss Noah's safety, Chief. Leave it to me.
Eldon studies Liang's face for a moment before shifting his gaze to Qixing. At last, he relents.
Keep the target in check, Liang.
Keeping his eyes on the target, he leans in close to Liang's ear and issues a low warning.
James and the others are working on how to break this barrier we're in. Camerahead and that ghost hunter are helping them. Stay calm. We want to resolve this peacefully if possible. Haven't forgotten what you learned in negotiation class, have you?
Of course not, sir. I got straight A's.
Hell yeah. Poitier takes Liang's other side and rests a firm hand on her shoulder.
Guard up, rookie, and straighten your back. I get why you want to wear this outfit, but you can get things done with or without it. Isn't that right, partner?
Right, ma'am. I won't fail.
Before pulling away, Poitier gives Liang her usual rough pat on the back, but somehow it causes Liang's stiffness to melt away. Taking a steadying breath, she moves to Noir's side.
Let's go, Director. Time for the final scene.
Accompanied by Liang, Laura wails into the distorted world before them. It's as if a surreal nightmare is unfolding before their eyes.
Look around you, Noor. Look at what we've done.
Qixing's gaze wanders over the bleeding lights and flickering shadows around her as she scrutinizes the cracks and distortions in this twisted realm unleashed by the cursed film reel. But her expression holds no trace of admiration.
This is what her film, the very last work of our dearest friend, looks like now. Tainted, twisted, and wicked. All this is proof of our guilt. The blood on our hands.
So, what are you going to do about it? Teresa's never coming back. She's dead.
Nora doesn't shy away from the word, though a note of sorrow lingers in her tone. She says it with a certain cold detachment.
And you, playing hero, punishing those you deem evil. Does that make you feel better? You kill me and then what? Kill yourself?
Oh my.
That's how you'll atone for your failures. Forgive my bluntness, but how laughably naive you are.
Noir's voice has an uncharacteristic sharpness to it, but Qixing shows no sign of wavering under her scrutiny. Instead, she smiles.
Atone for my failures? You're way off. You're right about one thing, though. She is gone. The person who cared for me more than anyone in the world. Dead.
Doomed? Yuri?
When she gave me a shoulder to lean on, I pushed her away. I left her to die alone and in pain. How could I ever atone for that? How could I ever expect her to forgive me? How selfish of me to even ask for that.
Liang furrows her brow in suspicion.
Then why can't you let it go? CO7 is the hero who brings the happy ending, no matter what she's faced with. What you are doing now is anything but that.
The hero who brings a happy ending, no matter what she's faced with. That's what I said in the behind-the-scenes interview of CO7 too. I'm surprised you even remember that.
After a brief pause, she smiles again.
But there'll be no happy ending for me. You probably heard that. After she died, I starred in a few movies with other directors. But they all went south. Not because they weren't commercially successful or popular, but because I couldn't shake that feeling of disgust. I'd never felt that playing CO7. The cameras, the boom mics, the spotlights, the sight of them made me want to throw up, scream, do anything to run away from it all. Eventually, I retired from acting. But that sense of disgust never left me. It haunted me wherever I went, whatever I did. I kept asking myself, why is this happening to me? Why can't I just act? Why? Day and night, I wrestled with these questions. Until one day, I found the answer.
Her gaze burns with intensity, and yet it carries a bone-chilling coldness. It is fixed firmly upon Noir.
It all began with a dire mistake. One that needs to be corrected.
Serenito streak through the air in a sudden downpour.
Miss Noah, get back!
Oh my. Okay, balanced mode. Can have one helper in this battle. Okay. I think this team can do it.
I wasn't wrong about you after all. All our countless choices have led up to this moment. But not all of those choices were made willingly. No. Some of us had no choice but to fight over scraps in the dark corners of society. This time, though, it is my choice, my own will. And I'm fortunate to have you playing opposite me. I can see it in your eyes. You're not playing the role of a hero or an officer. You're yourself, and nothing less.
What about you? Is playing the role of a murderous villain really what you want?
The answer to that is yours to find out, little Vigil.
Dental checker.
Oh my god, I forgot. I can't auto. I have to think. Oh no. Enemies periodically launch powerful attacks on targets holding focus. You still frame straight. Oh, okay. Whatever.
No, fine. Wanna watch the aerial stunts?
Please, get resist.
A little trick.
My next performance, bubble bursting.
Don't blink.
What an awful racket you make.
A word of warning. Don't leave your friends stranded. Their lives are in your hands.
A new hypothesis.
Do you have any requests?
Fine.
Please enjoy.
Me when I have no idea what I'm doing.
Don't blink.
another addition to my collection. Soon, you'll all be tucked away in my film reel.
What a Sigma.
Saxophones and... Do you have any requests?
A good point.
Now for the crescendo with fortissimo tutti. My next performance, bubbles bursting. Listen to the melody of wind and waves.
The benefits of field mapping.
I've been waiting for this. Get the camera rolling, Nora. At last I'll get the ending I always wanted.
Looks like that.
Oh my god.
Relax.
A new hypothesis.
Wanna watch the aerial stunts?
A good point. Calculating distance.
Don't blink.
No other study could show you this.
Am I going to regret saying this?
Stop this feudal resistance and face reality. No matter how hard you try, you can't change the past.
No, little Vigil. This isn't my curtain call. Not yet.
Watch out, Liang.
Red 38 is about to return.
Ammo's running low, sir. They must be gaining power from this area we're in.
I hate you more. You were born with a silver spoon and exceptional talent. You took everything for granted. You looked down on everyone else. I've always hated you.
Miss Noah, hold on!
That was close.
Miss Jishi, is this really what you want to do? Are you really going to kill Miss Noah? You have to stop! This is completely meaningless.
Meaningless? No. This is exactly what needs to happen. Every story must have an ending after all. The past has held me prisoner for far too long. I need an ending, a conclusion, so I can finally leave it behind me. Only then can I reach my perfect grand finale. Qiangliang, impossible. You didn't chant the incantation.
This time, I won't hesitate. You're my inspiration, Miss Qixin. Like the countless kids who were once lost. I found myself in CO7, and that's exactly why I have to stop you. 强梁既出，王有不为，斩杀兄舅，小节不祥。
Okay, that was epic. That was actually really cool. What's this? Inside the film, a newly born consciousness formed from fragments within a chaotic sea of thoughts. Reel 1, Scene 24, Shot 9, Take 3. Writer, Hurry Jun. Scene description. An old house contested by sworn sisters is reduced to ruins in a fire. Covered in ash, The three lie amidst the rubble, drinking beer bought from a convenience store and gazing out at the sunrise. I must finish this film. The film must be finished. Only then can I be whole. Added scene. An old woman drops her cane, crying tears of joy. I'm cured. My family won't need to spend money anymore. A classic technique blending social issues with sentimentality. Added scene. A man kneels, crying out, I'll kill that con artist. I'll avenge my mom. A perfect emotional outburst for the film's midpoint. Added scene. A woman paces in her room after watching the film's teaser. She mutters, This isn't your usual work. The real has absorbed your hatred. It reeks of malice. I'm not like the others. I believe sinners must be punished. This time, I'll ensure your film has a perfect ending. Putting sin with death? That's perfect. Just right for the finale. Ah, got it. Until the light fades. The final spark in their eyes, fading slowly. A brilliant flash splits the darkened sky in two, and a thunderous roar scatters the shadows. Of fear and unease are forgotten in an instant. Every head turns to the place where the lightning struck to see a colossal beast standing in solemn majesty. The crowd falls silent. Then, a single young voice cries out. The child raises a lantern excitedly.
It's just like the painting on my lantern.
The paper-crafted beast bears little resemblance to the mighty guardian towering in the distance. Yet, something in its stern, round-eyed face carried something of its righteous spirit. As the crowd shifts their gaze between the small paper lanterns and the guardian, their voices finally return.
You're right! It's the legendary Sandal beast! Look! It has the tail of a snake and the head of a tiger! Just like the illustrations!
Has the legendary Qiangliang come to save us? Does that mean that girl is this Zhengzi?
What are you two yapping about? 显道 beast? 正直? Those are just fairy tales. Didn't Mr. Zhou say this was all part of a film shoot?
That's right. I told you this was all for a movie. Why don't you guys believe me?
Oh, come on! You're always full of hot air. That said, there's no way this is real. It must just be some fancy special effects. So, I'll believe you this once.
Wait, so all those things were fake? I almost freaked out when those ghosts came out. Costumes and makeup are so real looking. Man, am I glad I came to Chinatown. This parade's been insane. I gotta take more photos.
The fear that once filled their hearts gradually fades. Those who understand the truth exchange knowing smiles.
Wow, that's Changliang, huh? Looks totally awesome. I heard that a descendant of the 12th Zhengzi joined the Fiju's bureau, but this is the first time I've ever seen Changliang in action.
Looks like they got that actor lady under control. Now all we need to do is grab that cursed film reel and break the barrier. And the victims will be sane again. It'll be happily ever after for everyone.
Before she can finish speaking, her optimistic prediction is ruthlessly overturned.
What, boy? This again?
What's going on? Didn't they finish the job?
An anomaly even greater than the last crashes down upon them. Startled cries rise from the crowd.
Look! iPhone! Something's wrong with it!
Something is very wrong indeed. What was assumed to be a mere optical distortion is now starting to seep into tangible reality. It is undeniably interfering with the physical world.
Is that archway melting?
It kinda looks like a burning piece of film.
They look at each other, finding the same alarm in each other's faces.
Wait, the barrier was created by that spooky film reel, right? Then this mean is...
It's falling apart. We need to get out of here.
Get everyone away from the edges of the barrier. The further they are from those twisting buildings, the better.
Understood. But what the hell is going on? I thought you had the target locked down.
We do, but clearly this isn't over yet. Miss Latham, anything you can do?
Yes, sir, but I'll need a few of your men. I can use the containment incantation they taught me at work, but I don't think it'll hold for long.
Just do your best. In the meantime, we'll eliminate the problem at the source.
Alden's furious gaze lands on Qixing.
All right, Qixing. Whatever you're doing with the reel, stop it now! Or I'll make you stop it!
I'm not doing anything.
She stands, her head a few feet away, her body slumped against the wall behind her as she barely manages to stay upright. She forces a crooked grin.
It's the film reel. It's reached its limit.
From her coat, she pulls out the object responsible for all this chaos. Had Liang not once held the film reel herself, she might not have recognized it at all.
The reunion of the three swallows. What's happening to it? Wait, there's something else here.
No doubt about it. Evil spirits. An insane number of them.
An shoves through the crowd, rushing to Qixing's side. With just one glance at the film reel, her face goes pale. Upon hearing An's words, Yang's expression darkens.
So you think so too? We had a similar encounter at the city hall not long ago. Mr. Wang must have lost some of his spiritual energy to the film reel, leaving his body open to wandering evil spirits. Since then, I've suspected that...
The uneasy speculation lodges in her throat, but An voices it for her.
Of course! I should have realized earlier!
The ghost hunter lets out a long, frustrated sigh, then furrows her brows in thought, her expression growing increasingly grim.
Obviously, evil spirits would be attracted to the film reel. It's like leaving a pot of honey in front of a wasp's nest. A living soul is a wandering spirit's favorite meal. So with the number of souls scattered in the film reel, it's like a total feast. All that evil spiritual energy must have the film reel bursting at the seams.
An scans her surroundings, alarm in her eyes. The collapse is approaching fast. It's as if reality itself is about to be swallowed whole. Yet, neither Liang nor An can sense a single wandering or evil spirit. A sudden realization strikes Liang. Her gaze snaps to Qixing. But upon seeing her, her eyes widen in shock.
Miss Qixing, your hand!
I must admit.
Deep, jagged cracks have spread across the entire film reel and climbed up Qixing's hand and arm like sinister veins.
The film reel isn't the only thing at its limit. I can't hold on much longer.
The vessel containing Chang Liang strapped around Liang's waist starts to shudder. To Chang Liang, the malevolent energy emanating from Qixing must be eradicated.
What does that mean?
A thought flashes through Liang's mind.
Could it be that the film reel has been out of control since the beginning?
That depends on how you define the beginning.
Even though Qixing avoids answering, Liang knows she's right. Scattered pieces of the puzzle find their place, and finally, the picture begins to form a whole.
Since the moment Miss Latham played the cursed film, people have started to suffer from mental disorders. But if you think about it, the sequence of events doesn't make sense. There were only 5 victims of the film incident in Hong Kong 8 years ago. But this time, the number of victims was growing rapidly. That was until you got involved, Miss Qixin. Ever since you took possession of the film reel, only a small number of specific people have been targeted. We thought you were exploiting the reel's power to carry out your vigilantism, but in truth, you were trying to control the reel by limiting its victims to those you deemed as villains.
Though disbelief still colors her voice, her words are not a question. Eldon and the others stare, caught between shock and suspicion, as they turn toward the woman they assumed was the true culprit.
Is that true?
You flatter me, little Vigil. I simply didn't want her legacy to become a tool of evil. That was never her intention.
So that's why you did all this? You wanted us all at the parade because you were losing control of the reel? It isn't your goal to kill Miss Noah. Was that also a setup? If the film reel wasn't part of your plan, then what was?
A conclusion she herself once stated resurfaces in her mind, and she realizes she made a critical error.
Miss Qixin still can't accept the way Miss Noah ended Detective 073. That's her motive. The ending consists of 2 major elements, the Shehua parade and the villain who should have been punished. She now sees Noah as that villain.
Noah isn't the villain, is she? In your perfect grand finale, the villain you intend to kill at the parade is none other than yourself.
It's a good ending for everyone. The big bad finally gets her comeuppance. And who better fits the role than me?
This is the grand finale you want to have? Why does it have to end like this?
Because this is the way it has to be. When a drop of ink falls onto paper, no matter how hard you wipe, it can never be spotless again. People say that every saint has a past, and every sinner has a future. What garbage. Some mistakes can never be forgiven.
What happened to He Rijun was an accident. You shouldn't blame yourself for her death. It wasn't your fault.
But it was my fault. It was my stubbornness, my selfishness, that pushed my dear friend, who really, truly cared for me, toward the cliff. How can someone like me carry the title of CO7? I don't deserve to stand in the spotlight ever again. Punishing those equally despicable pieces of scum made me feel better for a while, but it didn't last. That sickening feeling inside, that disgust in myself, it wouldn't stop. I looked everywhere for a way to heal it. But then I realized that the biggest piece of scum was me.
Qixing looks up at the sky and lets out a long breath. For the first time, her expression softens, as if she has finally released a burden, and within her eyes, something new flickers. Hope.
The answer was so simple. I can hardly believe it took me so long to see it. And now, it's time to put an end to this nauseating nightmare.
Liang cannot understand it.
No, you're being too harsh on yourself. He Rijun doesn't blame you. I'm certain of it.
Quit it, Vigil. Look around you. Can you still claim that I'm not to blame?
Well, I can. And let me tell you, Teresa was much stronger than you say she was.
Liang turns to see Poitier helping Noir back into her wheelchair.
Yes, Teresa would cry often, but that made her no less determined of an artist. And before long she'd be at my door saying, "I made some edits. Take a look." You know that's what she was like. Do you seriously think she gave up dreams, her life, just because of a few harsh words? No, I could never have a coward like that as a partner.
Noir's face is twisted in a fury Liang has never seen before. It sets a fire in the woman beneath her glare, making her frown in turn.
Whatever you say. Director or not, you can't tell me what to do anymore. I will have this ending. Come on, officers. Finish the job. I'd do it myself if I had the strength.
Her voice is unwavering.
I've learned a lot these past years. If you want to save this city, you'll have to kill me. Those spirits will disappear, and everything will be back to normal. A perfect grand finale, isn't it? So what are you waiting for?
So it's come to this, has it?
Eldon swears under his breath as he reaches for the gun at his waist. Qixing watches on, seemingly pleased.
Wait, sir!
Lightning shoots through Liang's body. Her feet, once nailed to the ground, suddenly feel weightless. She steps forward.
There's no guarantee that things will play out like Miss Qixing said. Please, let me try something. After all, exorcism is my and Qiangliang's specialty.
Wait, what are you?
Before either Eldon or Qixing can react, the film reel is already in Liang's grasp.
Liang!
You out of your mind or something?
Yes, there are a huge number of evil entities bound within it. And this is probably the most formidable opponent Qiangliang and I have ever faced. But I must confront this challenge. Not to protect the honor of my family, or to mimic CO7 either. But because I want to. Because it's right. Every story has an ending. And I must act to create the best one for everyone. Sorry, I don't have any flower words or clever arguments. But if you're willing to help me, please, Xiangliang, heed my call.
This isn't good. Is this the best I can? Xiangliang?
幸有大贤方相使，受天子之托，向12摄提神请愿，得巫武之礼，降服恶兽，收为己用，更名为显道兽。然而，显道兽一时能庇护的范围终究有限，一时人间仍有诸多邪祟诡异肆虐，非人力所能敌。但那时的百姓们却从未放弃过抵抗。 因为他们知道，只要心怀希望与斗志，到最后一刻，显道兽必将现身，逐除恶鬼，还人间一片太平。
Xiangliang, no!
Oh my. 3 screen. But you always have to love this. You always love the story, for it remains there unchanged. The storm clouds gradually disperse, and sunlight streams into the ward. In the corner, the television broadcasts a news report.
Last night, the Chinatown Shuhu Parade drew hundreds, as tourists and locals gathered for the Eastern spectacle. These photos, shared by an enthusiastic tourist, show the enormous holographic images that were created on site, using arcane skills to present a stunning performance of the Chinese folktale Zhang Liang's exorcism. The event has been deemed a well-organized success, with many promising to attend again next year. Locals have expressed their thanks. One spokesperson said, "It's been wonderful to share our culture with people from all around the world. Chinatown is always ready to welcome new friends from both near and far." In other news, the arcane vigilante Night Piercer, who has perpetrated dozens of attacks across the city, has been apprehended by the DAA. Night Piercer was revealed to be Qi Xing, a former Hong Kong movie star. Some members of the public have expressed continued support for the vigilante due to the questionable backgrounds of her victims. Deputy Chief Eldon of the Division of Arcane Affairs gave his response.
Vigilante justice is incredibly dangerous to our society. No individual has the right to bypass the law and enact their judgment on others. Taking the law into your own hands will only lead to chaos, violence, and potential harm to innocent people. We urge the citizens of Los Angeles to place their trust in us as we continue to dedicate ourselves to maintaining a safer society for everyone. If you share our passion for justice, we encourage all citizens to direct their assistance and feedback to the Division of Arcane Affairs.
The LAPD has just announced a plan to add a number of positions for Arcane Affairs officers in the coming year to address the DAA's staffing shortage. The St. Pavlov Foundation's Vigils Bureau training program is also set to begin in the coming months. To apply, please dial...
Hearing this news, the woman hops up joyfully and turns to the man sitting up in bed.
Hey! They're hiring Arcane Affairs officers! Hasn't it always been your dream to don the uniform? Looks like they accept all the applicants too. Why don't you give it a shot when you are better?
Knock it off. I've been a greengrocer for 20 years. There's no way I could be a cop. Right?
He wakes off his wife, but as he does so, he turns to the man beside him with a nervous look on his face, expecting the idea to get shot down. But the reaction he gets is unexpected.
What are you staring at me for? If you want to do it, just do it. I'm sure the neighborhood will be glad to see you wearing the badge. Besides, I spent some time with the officers at the parade. I'm sure that you will be just as capable as them. You're gonna have to toughen up a little, though.
Liang, who has been watching the exchange, smiles.
Mr. Wan, you're strong, healthy, and have a natural talent for arcane skills. With a little training, I'm sure you'll become an outstanding officer. There's a lot that goes into being an officer, but I believe what matters most is the heart to pursue justice and the courage to protect others. The doctor said you can be discharged soon. You should seriously consider applying for the position.
Well, in that case, I'll think about it.
Thank you so much, young lady. I heard you were the one who got rid of the girls and saved everyone. You are our hero.
She clasps Liang's hand tightly in a warm grip. This time, her hand is steady. Liang returns the handshake.
You're too kind, madam. I was only doing my job. And I didn't do it alone. It was a combined effort.
Well, that's that. No more cursed film crazies. Almost all the victims have recovered. Most of them have already been discharged too. Just a few poor saps who got hit hard are still around. But they should be out of here before long. Same goes for the victims in the parade. They've all regained their what's it called again?
An gives a helpless sigh.
It's 三魂七魄啊 madam. Just call it spiritual energy or something like that. I heard that those crooks who were taught by a thing or two by Keising has also recovered. Well, mentally they are pretty physically messed up, so they will have to stay here for a while, I think.
So many victims and not a single death. That's a blessing.
Qixing pulled her punches, apparently. I guess deep down she wasn't the deliverer of justice she claimed she was. Well, no use wondering about it. Years on this job will quickly show you that the madness in Arcanist blood always comes out in Arcanist criminals. Trying to understand them is a waste of time.
That may be the case, but I think that if we look at each other as individuals, we can come to understand one another eventually.
She takes out the brick-sized mobile phone she has carried with her since she was 6 years old. But now, its screen remains dark. No matter how much Liang tries to summon the spirit residing within, there's no response.
If we'll try our best.
Holding on to hope, Liang tries a few different button combinations on the phone. Usually, the screen would light up, but this time, there's nothing.
Still nothing from Xiang Liang?
Liang lowers her gaze and shakes her head.
Well, what did you expect? That huge spooky spookters was a nasty opponent on its own. Not to mention all the ghosts that were attracted by that film reel. It was creepy lah. All those ghosts in one place. It was more crowded than the Dai Pai Dong. I mean, the Chinatown food store on the Saturday night. What's worse, those specters drowned the 三魂七魄 of innocent people. If that hadn't happened, then Qiang Liang wouldn't have had to say.
An cuts herself off. It would be too cruel to say these words in front of Liang.
Qiang Liang was lost because of my incompetence. I don't know how I'll be able to face my family now. And there's something else that's bothering me. When Qiang Liang put in the evil spirits, I thought I was going to die with it. But it looked at me and pushed me aside. It bore everything, all alone. Why did it go to such lengths to help me? Because I'm its Junzi. The way it looked at me, I think it wanted to tell me something. But I didn't understand what. Qiang Liang had been by my side since I was 6. But I always saw it as a heavy burden or a double-edged sword. I never saw it as an independent individual or as a friend. I never tried to truly understand it. And now, I've probably lost the opportunity to ever understand it.
Liang sighs and falls silent. The other two exchange a glance and simultaneously pat her on the shoulders.
Come on, enough with the long face. Maybe Qiang Liang will respond to you one day lah. You never know. And I'm here if you ever need my professional ghost-busting service. Exclusive discount just for you
Agreed. Isn't it a literal legendary beast that's existed for ages? No way it bit the dust just like that. I bet it's recharging in its lair or something. Then it'll come back when it's full of juice again.
I hope so.
She knows these are just comforting words, but their concern for her gives her the strength to move forward nonetheless.
Oh, Portier! There you are! And the ghost-busting girl in Liang! Great!
A familiar figure waves from the end of the hallway as she hurries over. Noticing Liang's slightly surprised expression, she slows her steps.
Oh, sorry. I mean, Officer Liang. But if you don't mind...
Of course I don't. Just call me Liang.
Despite her swift response, Liang still feels a little surprised when she sees the officer extend her hand toward her.
Oh, where are my manners? Name's Jenny Carter. Just Jenny's fine. Unlike your instructor, I don't try to hide my appreciation of people. I gotta say, you've done an awesome job. Folks at the department have all been talking about it. We're proud of you. Please tell me there's some way to postpone the end of your field training.
This is the second hand Liang has shaken today.
Thank you. That's very kind. What brings you here?
Deputy Chief Eldon, of course. Who else? Foundation staff have arrived. They're gonna take over Qi Xing's interrogation and everything. They're gonna take the film reel back to their headquarters, too. But your request has been approved. We can watch Reunion of the Three Swallows before they take it away.
Oh my, oh my.
For crying out loud, the DAA is in a movie theater. Where'd all these people come from?
Adam scans the group before him.
My apologies, sir. I invited them. This may be the only chance for Teresa's last work to be shown to the public. I want as many people to see it as possible. Every filmmaker wants their work to be shown to the world. I appreciate your understanding.
Before Alden can respond, Anan cuts in.
Come on, sir. It's no big deal. Everyone here knows what really happened. We just want to know what the film's about.
Yeah, didn't you see something on TV about assistance and feedback? You'd be going back on your word if you ignored us now.
Hey, don't you go talking circles around me again.
Even in this harmonious scene, the two men can't help but bicker. Poitier rolls her eyes. Luckily, the two are quickly interrupted by a woman in a Foundation uniform.
No need to worry, Deputy Chief Eldon. After thorough examination, we've determined that the film reel no longer possesses the ability to twist reality. It was our negligence that allowed the film to be taken in the first place. So, as Mr. Zhou said, the people deserve to know the truth. Besides, every viewer is required to sign this confidentiality agreement before entering the screening room. Alright everyone, please hurry. The movie starts in 15 minutes.
Oh, I'm pumped! No way I'm missing this! Give me a pen!
An heads over to the desk, and the DAA officers and Chinatown private detectives follow suit. Liang and Noir, on the other hand, hang back. They already signed the confidentiality agreement. After all, they are the ones who drafted it.
You have my thanks, Vigil. If it weren't for you, I doubt Ah Sing and I would have had this chance to watch our good friend's swan song. I also have to thank you for helping me stop Ah Sing and for helping me keep my promise.
Your promise?
Noir pats her hands on her thighs.
Yes, I swore on these two legs. In the past, all I cared about was making the best film. I saw everyone, even my actors and writers, as tools to reach that goal. But I was wrong. There's no such thing as a best film, only a better film. And to make a better film, I need a team around me. What matters most is the people who make the film, not the film itself.
She turns her head and looks toward the bolted door at the other end of the room.
But as long as we're living, there's still a future. Maybe I should hire a good lawyer for Ah Sing. They can probably secure a shorter sentence. When she's free again, both physically and mentally, perhaps we can make a movie together, just like old times.
Liang is momentarily stunned.
Are you sure? With all due respect, Miss Noah, that will probably be a very long time from now.
So, even if we're old ladies by then, as long as we can still move, I'm certain we can make movies. Speaking of which, you'd make an excellent addition to my crew, Miss Liang. Don't hesitate to contact me if you reconsider your career choice.
You're very generous, Miss Noah. But I think I'll stick to being a fan for the time being. I look forward to seeing what you do next.
You won't be disappointed. By the way, have you seen Miss Latham lately? I tried to invite her, but she didn't pick up the phone. She must have left it in her room again.
Actually, I ran into her at the hospital earlier. Miss Scott just regained consciousness. She wanted to visit her.
Nora's smile fades slightly, and a contemplative expression comes over her.
Miss Scott, something tells me that there's still an unsolved mystery there.
You mean a truth hidden behind all these incidents?
Yes, like a chessboard, with the pawns placed on the front line. Somehow, we've managed to fight our way out, escaping our planned doom. But who is the player who placed us there? They are still a mystery, watching us from the shadows. I don't like this feeling.
I'll keep an eye on the matter. I already made a detailed report to my superiors. If there's anything else going on, I'm sure the vigils will put a stop to it.
I suppose we'll have to wait and see.
Nora's expression does not ease. It seems the title Vigil's Bureau doesn't bring her much confidence. Before Liang can inquire further, Poitier calls her.
Hey, you two! Get your asses in the screening room! We're all waiting for you!
On our way!
Nothing's more important than a movie that's about to start. Let's go, Vigil.
They exchange a smile and enter the makeshift theater together. Oh, there's another. After the show, exclusive interviews with cast members. That morning, we lay amidst the ruins, and Sis handed me a bottle of beer. Suddenly, I understood. I already had the whole world. I just hadn't bothered to look. You're right. If we cut out the chaotic, corrupted footage, this could be a great film. That line is so Teresa. A house can be rebuilt, and the gaps between friends can be mended. She always loved life. It's hard to believe, especially after seeing this. A Teresa like this would never have taken her own life. You're right. Miss Vigil, thank you. Her creation being restored to its original form is something I'm truly grateful for. And it's all thanks to you and your team. About Qiangliang, I'm more sorry than you can imagine. This wasn't my intention, but ultimately, my selfish behavior caused this to happen. If there's anything I can do to make amends... There's no need to feel guilty, Miss Qixing. Purging the ghost plague is part of Qiangliang's and my duty. I know that you really like those movies. I must have really let you down, naked. I won't lie, I was a little disappointed. But it doesn't matter. CO7 is still my favorite character, and that will never change. Thank you. Wait a moment, Qixing. Before you and the officers leave, Miss Liang and I need to confirm one last thing. There is something in your testimony that's been eating at me. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you're lying. The Vigil's interrogation experts confirmed that much. But even you probably noticed the sequence of events that led you to become the Night Piercer. You stole the reel and caused the incident in Chinatown, but your motives seem inconsistent. I feel like I'm missing a piece to this puzzle. It's almost like the memory gaps affecting Loggerhead, but your expertise in arcane skills surpasses hers. Perhaps you can recall something. I'm sorry, I really don't remember. I only recall how it all began. I got word that Reunion of the Three Swallows had found its way out of Foundation storage and into the black market. I even got into the secret auction for it through some intermediaries, but unfortunately, I didn't have the dough. So I asked myself, who else out there could be as fixated on that reel as me? The answer to that was obvious. It's me. That's right, you're a public figure. Following you to Los Angeles wasn't difficult. I tracked down your intermediary, Pug Dog, and for a bit of cash, I got the time and location of your deal. I see, so the friendly advice Pug Dog gave me back then was about you. What a guy, zero professional ethics. That night, my only objective was to take the reel from you. The question of who stole it from the Foundation wasn't something I even bothered to think about, but at the very last moment, a sliver of sense kicked in. It was a close call, but I managed to hold myself back. I think there was a moment when I really intended to kill that poor staffer, Miss Scott. But I don't understand why I felt that way. You know the rest. The player that placed us here. Who is it? Who is it? Anonymous visitor. A bouquet left by the comforter, wilting away. Scared, guys, I'm scared. I'm scared.
Scott's ward. Scott's ward. Did I take a wrong turn? Oh, excuse me, Doctor. Could you tell me where Constance Scott's ward is? I'm kinda lost.
You're in the wrong area. You need to go straight forward this way, take a left at a corner, and a right at the next.
Forward, left, then right, okay. I'll remember it now. Thanks for the help.
Sure.
Loggerhead makes her way down the hallway, muttering the directions to herself as she goes. But then she stops and turns back in confusion.
That's odd. Why do I feel like I talked to that doctor a few days ago?
Oh my!
Must just be my bad memory. The lady last time was more friendly.
She tilts her head before quickly deciding to just let it go.
Wait, which way did
Oh
she
my!
say
Me if you even care.
Sorry, Doctor. It isn't time for the routine checkup yet.
You're right. But yesterday's medical report showed some concerning fluctuations in the patient's data. It's probably nothing serious, but we should conduct a clinical check on the patient, just in case.
Please wait a moment. Let me verify this with your superior.
Of course, officer. You can never be too cautious, especially when the patient's involved in a sensitive case.
Yeah. Thanks for your...
The patient inside the ward hears the conversation outside the door come to an abrupt halt. She sits with her hands cuffed to the railing, turning her head away from the window and toward the closed door before her.
What's wrong?
There is no response from the other side. Several seconds later, the doorknob turns. Standing in the doorway is the doctor. She looks vaguely familiar.
Good afternoon, Miss Scott. How are you feeling today?
Before the door is closed again, Scott catches a glimpse of the Arcane Affairs officer staring straight ahead. He doesn't so much as glance in her direction. Something is wrong. Scott shoots up straight.
Who are you?
Someone brought you these flowers.
Flowers?
Only then does she notice that the doctor is holding a glass vase filled with pure white flowers. Fresh and delicate.
No. Something's not right. I heard what you said to the officer. How are you supposed to do a medical check with a flower vase?
What? Scott vaguely hears her own voice being swallowed, but somehow she doesn't care. All her attention is locked on the vase. Not the flowers, but the vase itself. At first glance, it looked like any other glass item, but now that it's under the sunlight, it's shimmering like crystal, reflecting dreamlike colors around the ward.
Is this crystal?
A barrier blocking off her memory suddenly bursts.
It's you, madam. You said you wouldn't contact me unless something bad happened. Is there something wrong with the object you bought?
No, it is perfect. You have been of superb help.
It was my honor to serve you, madam. And I must say, you have incredible foresight. The vigils caught me, but they couldn't get any useful information because I can't remember any.
But you still seem to be in a rather precarious situation.
Yes, but you needn't worry. I can handle this myself.
That is good to hear.
Scary. The other end of the communication incantation falls silent. If not for the light still refracting from the vase, she might have thought the other party already hung up.
By the way, I met Matilda not long ago. She
No way!
was worried about you. Have you not contacted her?
I need a moment, you guys. I need a moment to look outside the window and ponder for a second. Guys, what the hell? I have no words. I have no words. Oh my god. This is PIM. Absolute cinema. Also makes sense since Matilda has like the orbiculum, the orb, pondering her orb, and she's like big into crystals, so makes sense that this would be her mom.
Were she more perceptive, she would have already discovered me herself. She will find me when she's ready.
The voice on the other side shows little interest in the topic. Scott smirks to herself but struggles to find another excuse to prolong the conversation. But her moment has already passed. The colors twist and her consciousness begins to spiral.
What was I doing again?
I am contacting you to express my gratitude. Merci beaucoup, Miss Scott. And please believe me, you are far more gifted than you think.
The woman's voice rings out from a particularly distorted and colorful spot in the room. It is elegant, dignified, and strangely familiar.
Who are you?
The voice does not answer.
However, those black dogs have a keener sense of smell than the frost. I am afraid our relationship has come to an end. Adieu, Miss Scott.
Huh? Wait.
What the hell? A bullet shatters the vase, shattering the dream and crashing her back to reality. At some point, the door was silently opened. A pair of black leather boots steps over the shards of the broken vase and comes to a stop at Scott's bedside.
Huh, they run fast, that's for sure.
Oh! Pretty woman. I need a moment again, but this time not because I'm shocked, but because she's so beautiful. Wow, guys.
Have you figured out what happened to the two officers?
The woman turns to her cadet. A man, also dressed in the same black uniform, is dragging the unconscious body of the doctor who visited earlier beside that of the DAA officer who had been keeping guard outside.
They're under some kind of hypnosis. Caster's no amateur either. Arcane fluctuations are impossible to trace.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
She crouches down to pick up a shard of glass. As she examines it, her mouth curls into a smile.
Not bad. This is really bad. We already knew Scott was the culprit, but you just had to use her as bait to reel in the fish hiding in the darkness. Now all we have is Scott with no memories of what happened, and a stone-cold trail. Truly genius. And I still don't get why you're keeping all this from Liang. She's your cadet, and right here in the city. We should have had her join the investigation. I can't wait to see her face when she finds out what's been going on. And I'm not defending you this time either.
Faced with her cadet's accusations, the woman feigns innocence.
Defending me? There's nothing to defend. If we told her about our plan, she would have started acting differently and spooked our fish. Besides, the whole point of her field training program in the LAPD was to see if she could handle things on her own. And she's proven that she can. The Division of Arcane Affairs seems to adore her, so I'm sure the Deputy Chief will give her an excellent write-up. Everything's turned out great, hasn't it? See how considerate I am. How I always do things in my cadet's best interests. How could you make me out to be such a heartless, irresponsible monster?
She exaggerates the sorrowful expression, which only makes her cadet roll his eyes in exasperation.
Oh, don't give me that look. Anyway, I think I've got an idea as to what's going on.
Really?
The woman drops her act and smiles knowingly.
Our big fish got away, yes. But just confirming that a fish this big exists has already made this worth our time. Now, back to the stolen arcane items. There are 5 in total, including the cursed film reel and the wind-up toy that the timekeeper shattered. Tell me, Bob, does our fish need all 5 arcane items?
It's Alan, not... How many times do I have to tell you? And to answer your question, no. I don't think so. The wind-up toy's already been destroyed, and the film reel's been recovered by a fellow cadet. These items did cause a few problems, but I don't see any common thread between the incidents they caused.
Correct, Brian. Those 2 items were probably just decoys to divert our attention.
Brian! It's Alan. Ignoring her cadet's correction, she goes on.
夫藏木于林，人皆视而不见. Of the 5 objects, they probably only need 1.
Huh.
Take a guess, Buck.
Buck!
Do they need?
Is she just doing this on purpose?
It's Alan. A-L-A-N. There isn't even a single B in it.
The cadet sighs, half in reluctance, half in realization.
Well, out of the 3, which one is... Wait, could it be?
Bingo.
From the way her cadet's face darkens, she can tell he has found the answer.
Does that mean the legend's real? It can really be used in that ritual?
It would seem so.
So, it's Manos...
What the Sigma? He speaks the name, his expression grim.
They must have planted a mole somewhere among the Foundation's elites. Someone with clearance to the Arcanum Containment Department.
It seems our fish doesn't wear the black robe.
The woman taps her chin. This response makes her cadet's eyes widen in disbelief.
Huh? So you're saying there's someone behind all this who wants to perform that ritual, and somehow has the means to steal from the Foundation? There's just no way.
The stolen items would probably go to the Manus eventually. But I have a hunch that our wily fish isn't totally on their side. Manus Vindictae obviously considered the succubus a valuable asset before she got away, right? So if our fish was a die-hard loyalist, they would have delivered the wind-up toy to their master straightway, rather than letting it be passed around all over the place. While our fish is in collusion with Manus Vindictae, they are swimming in murky waters. They may be pursuing their own agenda.
She curls her lips into a smile and flicks the shard of glass from between her fingers.
Things are starting to get interesting, aren't they? Like I said earlier, not bad at all.
With that, the two figures in black vanish out the door. Oh my. I need a moment again because this is... yeah. Actually, something that I really like about Reverse is that even in event stories, even if said event stories don't include Burton or the main crew, they're still like relevant to the plot, since they reveal some stuff going on behind the scenes. I think that's really, really cool. Yeah, this was Beam. This was peak cinema. Absolute cinema.
They are much naughtier than the Foundation's kids.
So yeah, guys, I was taking a moment to process all of that, because oh my god. But yeah, that's like, I think this is it. What did you guys think? Did you guys like this event? I certainly did. I thought it was really cool, really, really, really cool. And also, I don't think I have talked much about it, but I really liked the soundtrack as well. I think it was awesome, pretty awesome. But yeah, we don't have anything more planned for this week, so next week we should have Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin, as per requested to some people on my Twitter. And so yeah, this was it. I hope everyone had fun, just like me. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Love you all. Bye.